And hello, everybody. We are live. Welcome to Xbox Ultimate Podcast, episode number 86.
Yep.
Number 86. We got 14 more till 100. It's coming up faster than we can handle, I think. 'Cause we're going to have to make some big plans for that. But in the meantime, we're going to have all the Xbox Showcase stuff, which was the date was revealed for that yesterday. So that's got us excited. And lots of other news. It's like, holy crap. Did they have to have all the news at once? Absolutely insane. But I want to say thanks to the chat for being here. I see some people here hanging out nice and early. We also have the amazing panel right now. And with who's here today is my lovely wife, Caitlin. What's up, baby?
Hey, so I have a question. What does the 3 mean in E3?
Electronic Entertainment Expo.
Yeah.
What does the 3 mean?
There's 3 E's.
3 E's.
Electronic Entertainment Expo.
Oh, because it's like,
Oh.
well, I was gonna say, like, can we just rename it like X3? But then I guess that doesn't make sense.
Xbox.
What about 3Ds?
Extreme.
Xbox Experience, and I know
Xbox Extreme Experience.
Well, no, that would work then.
Yeah. That
XE?
well, it's
Xbox,
actually like XEX.
Let me talk.
Okay.
Xbox Exclusive Experience.
There you go. That might be confusing. Like what is that exactly? What is an Xbox Exclusive Experience?
Or Super Extreme Xbox?
That's SEX.
Oh, shit. You can't do that. Sorry.
Well, they have XO as an event already. So
XO.
XOXO.
It'll be XO 22 this year, right? If they do that. So
yeah.
I'm anticipating them probably doing something like that. But also, we don't know 100% what all the details are going to be for the showcase. But let's get to more intros here. The extraordinary AssassinLupa, who sent me shit tons of candy, and there's more on the way, and I'm super excited about it. Thank you, Lupa.
You're quite welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to one and all. It's Friday. It's Xbox Ultimate. Let's get it on.
Heck yeah. And Lupa, you're like gonna be on a couple of other shows now. You've like just in the past week, you've been like drafted by a couple shows. So
yeah, there's
gonna have
a
to
few
share
I
you.
declined, but there's a couple I've taken up the challenge on.
Right
Yeah,
on.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be on Good Morning Xbox, Sunday mornings for you lot, Sunday afternoons for me, and Game Set Live with KY Bob and Power Man on Thursdays at the same time as tonight.
Right on.
Who's doing that? Xbox. Good morning, Xbox.
Axel, Cool
Yeah,
Cat Terry, Axel
okay.
Gaming.
I think it's gonna be on Axel's
I
show.
think it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Like
Yeah,
Axel's
it's
channel.
Axel's show now. So it's Axel, Cool Cat Terry, Eternal Shaddai, Cerebral Paul, and Scrub Nurse, and myself.
Yeah. So you're gonna be filling in the Newfie shoes, the Nukem shoes.
Yes, I'm sitting in Newfie's seat until he's wanting to come take it back.
Right on.
Just keeping it warm.
Well, you could always sit on a dryer first, and then
I could be very hot then.
is the dryer on or?
She's 10. She
If you
tends
put
to
a
do
trainer
this.
It's on
in it, it
spin
works.
cycle.
What was the song that's in? Was that in the Rocket League song? Or,
Yeah, it's in the Rocket
yeah.
League song. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
What,
great.
sit on a dryer?
Water
Lupa
on
lets
spin
some
cycle.
secrets slip occasionally here and there. Shout out to
The cheap thrill if you sit on a washer and put it on the spin cycle, but you get an even better one if you sit on a dryer and put a trainer in it.
oh jeez.
It's gone
Like
left.
it's like-
Mav's in charge.
Hey, it's okay. This was when Pong hosted this, we didn't really go that left.
Well, I got it to go a little bit.
Yeah, that's good. I like it. Hey, Vitamin Boy, Mellow Fellow, all of the above. What's up, man? How are you doing today?
Good. Just been watching the draft the last couple days, and you know, get my hopes whatever.
Well, you traded away your whole draft to get one guy. So what did you hope for? Now they're trading away your second round picks to get.
Well, no, we don't have one fucking pick that we gave away this draft.
First
And
round.
then we traded down from the second to the third round. So it's like, I don't know what the fuck they're smoking. Yeah. Unless there's more behind to what they're trying to do. I don't know.
They have all their hopes in Deshaun Washington. We'll see. Deshaun Watson. We'll see how it goes. You know,
it's definitely better than Baker Mayfield. So,
did y'all trade away Baker Mayfield?
No, not yet. A couple Panthers and I think another team is eager, but that Malik Willis is still on the board. That Panthers are not pulling the trigger right now, so we'll see.
Anyone's better than Mr. Cheesecake Factory.
Well, that freaking guy, he's just a freaking. After he got hurt, he just should have sat and just let the season fold out with his backup, and instead he's selfish. I mean, he fucking ruined what could have been a decent season. So, fuck him.
Jeez. Browns fans. Okay. Fuzzy Belvedere, the always fuzzy. What's up, man? How's it going?
Not too bad. Glad to be here, man. Like you were saying earlier, went from crickets as far as news to all the news in just a short period of time. Man, it's going to be a fun show. Got my Steam Deck, pretty hyped about that, but I got some reading and stuff to do before I screw up the software on this thing or something. But definitely looking to dive into that. But yeah, let's get into these topics, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. A whole lot to talk about. It's absolutely insane. But we also have the realist here, who's going to keep us all in check on our expectations, because he is a lore master. What's up, Jasper? How's it going?
It's going pretty good. I finished most of my Insurgency Sandstorm achievements last night, and I watched Picard, so that's what I've been doing today.
Really? I thought you hated Picard.
I do, but it's Star Trek, so I got to watch the garbage.
Okay, that's fine. I get it. You know, I know how that is. But yeah, man, we had a lot of stuff happen. You know, so I don't know where we even what do we even get started with, because, you know, we have all this stuff that happened with, you know, little boy Schreier yesterday, and then all that stuff started the day. Then we had you know, a huge news of Xbox actually setting the date for their showcase, Xbox Bethesda showcase, and we still don't know a lot about it. So there's a lot of speculation to be had here. We have the whole thing today going on with WB Discovery potentially wanting to, you know, get rid of their game studios now, because, you know, that since that merger has become final, now they have kind of control over all of them, and rumors are swirling that maybe they're ready to sell some of those things. So it's just lots of news all over the place after a long drought. So it's pretty crazy. But hey, I want to. Kate was actually talking to me in the DM or in the DMs earlier, in our DMs, about, you know, what the showcase, the Xbox showcase, and you were thinking maybe there are going to be some community people there, babe, potentially.
Oh yeah, Cole and Miles for sure.
Yeah, we were joking around last night on PM and the PM because you know, Cole Eastwood and Miles Dompierre had put on Twitter that they were going to Seattle, so then the rumors got swirling. Psycho even hinted that Colt Eastwood was maybe going to host the show, or it was Miles Dompierre. Yeah, so I don't think that.
I said Miles was going to host and Colt was going to do interview and shit. Hey, anything's possible.
Anything's possible. Yeah, I think that it's going to be interesting to see what. I don't know why they're in Seattle, but
they're probably filming some kind of segment for something.
You think so? Or maybe
I don't think
Jasper
either of them
thinks
are
behind the
hosting
scenes
anything.
looks at something. I don't know. It's like it could
No,
be all.
I
It could be
think
nothing.
it's
This
more
literally
just
could
a
be
behind the scenes
absolutely
look at
nothing.
something.
You think it's something? I don't
Maybe
know.
they just want to hang out. Maybe they're just like,
Yeah.
hey, we should
I
meet
mean-
up.
Nah, nobody puts the eyeball emojis for nothing.
A lot of people put the eyeball emojis. I put the nose. I put the smells for nothing. You know what? I take that back. Yeah, I was right. Screw
Oh,
that.
you were right.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
you were smelling something for 3 weeks.
No, it
Eventually
was
you're gonna get
only.
something.
I did that last. Take that back. Listen up, Jasper. I did that on Sunday of last week. I think it was Sunday of last week. Yeah, it was Sunday of last week. And right before Monday, I had a feeling that something was going to happen within the
You
next.
did it on Sunday, right before Monday.
Yeah, Sunday. Sunday, the day before Monday.
The Sunday that doesn't usually come before Monday.
Since then, we've had all the financial results. We've had the Shadowrun stuff coming to Game Pass. We've had NBA 2K coming to Game Pass. We've had the showcase announcement. We had all this stuff. So
Bug snacks with them wiener hands.
yeah, Bug Snacks now. So
I can't believe you played that. What a sad loser.
I had to try it. Now, what's weird though, Lupa, is I had a lot of trouble actually playing it. I couldn't figure it out, and I was pretty upset because when I started it, one of the characters called me like a loser or something, a desperate loser.
He did a desperate
Clumby
loser,
Clumbernut.
Yeah,
and I thought, how correct.
yeah. I started that game, and one of the first characters was like, just straight up. Jasper's right. It was Clumby Clumbernut, that asshole.
Yeah, it was.
Called me a
The
desperate
mayor.
loser. How am I supposed to have any confidence going to catch my first bug and thinking I'm a desperate loser going through the rest of the game?
I don't know.
I don't know, but it was so appropriate. I thought, yes, you're a desperate loser playing this game. That's a bit like.
Didn't you say your daughter likes it
sadness.
or something?
Oh, she's been playing it.
Yeah, my
a
daughter
lot
likes it a
today.
lot. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy that Viva Pinata, a 360 game, looks better than this game. Just saying.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good
I feel
game
like
though.
they're
It's like
Better,
Similar.
so much better.
it's
insane.
It's a $25 game. It's not supposed to be like the end all be all for children's games and graphics and all that stuff. It's
No,
like a
I'm
little.
joking.
It's also an
I
indie
just-
like
I
game. I
just found
think
it
it's not
funny.
like
I don't care.
it's not like Activision making the
No.
game. It's just like
Yeah.
a random dude.
No, it
Yeah.
don't matter.
Yeah, but it is funny. It's a good joke because it was so prominent with the PlayStation launch titles and stuff, and it got a lot of attention because of that song. But
Mhm.
yeah, she's liking it a lot actually. So Xbox could have some more stuff hit first party. That's kid related. I think so. But yeah, let's get into this showcase. Or no, you know what? Screw that. We'll get into that later. Let's get into the whole WB Discovery thing. Because Jasper was being a little bit of a Debbie Downer here,
Yeah.
thinking that they're not going to sell anything, even though the rumors are starting to swirl.
Well,
Ah,
here's
they
my
are.
thinking of it. Like every time, like every few months after a sale, everyone starts being like, "Oh, this company's selling. This company's selling." Like last week, everything was Ubisoft. Ubisoft is selling. Ubisoft is selling. And this week
That's
it's
a yearly thing, though, Jasper.
and then it's WB is selling. Everyone's always selling, but then they never go through. So it's like I think it's just people trying to hype it up, just talk
Yeah.
about it and discuss, and then it gets circulates around Twitter.
Well, I will say that the whole Ubisoft thing started with financial. I don't even remember which website it is. If it was Bloomberg, I don't even want to give them a shout out. But it started with some pretty credible journalism that was actually pointing to two different equity firms that were interested in buying them, not like a big gaming publisher. So that I think kind of has some credibility to it, especially with Ubisoft's market share being so low compared to what it was before. They're kind of.
But you also have to look at was it was it 2017 or 18 when Xbox was rumored to buy Konami, and then apparently it got discussed too much in the public, so they had to back out of the deal or something. So
Oh, was that a thing?
would
I don't even remember
Yeah.
that.
yeah, they were trying to buy Konami, I think, and there was it started circulating around Twitter, and then they got too public, so they had to back out of the deal because it would have been insider trading for everyone.
I don't. Maybe that was just false rumors, though. You know what I mean? Who
Yeah,
knows?
that's.
I don't remember that one, but there was
No, I
that was
It was before they even bought Bethesda. It was like a year before that.
Yeah, that's
so.
before they bought all those other studios.
Yeah.
Right.
There was also Capcom as well that was kind of like that before they started doing the remakes of
Yeah, because
Resident
they were very
Evil and having their success and stuff.
They were very down and out, though. I think because of the way the market is right now, it holds a little bit more credibility than like past rumors. Because, like, if you're a publisher and dev, like right now is the time to sell, because you don't know like if the market's going to sustain the way it is right now. Because there's these companies are selling for like almost 50% above market cap right now, right? So even Activision Blizzard, which was down in the 60s, is still getting like $95 a share, right? So if you're like Ubisoft and you took a 50% hit over the last couple of years because all of their nonsense going on, you know, taking that money could be interesting. Especially, it seems like they have so many employees that they don't know what kind of direction they're going in with their company. Like, so Ubisoft, I don't know, like that one, I think what I hope is that it's not an equity firm and it is a game publisher or game company that actually purchases them. Because if it is one of those other companies, then their interest is not in gaming, right? Like it's, I don't know what the future would hold in that case. And if we start having all these outside companies that just try and jump in, you know, then that could be pretty dangerous, especially for these big publishers.
I just feel like, I don't know if it was me, like this is like CEO armchair, like
yeah,
the pandemic, like it gave you a boost in users, but they're going to start going outside. So like, do you predict that your stock's going to like continue to go down now? Or do you think that will return to like pre-pandemic where you like over the course of 5 years, you're going to like get back to where you were before the pandemic in stock wise? So like, do you ride it out or do you just sell now, you know?
Well, some of them are up and some of them are down. I think the ones that are down is more so the ones that have been failing with all of their behind the scenes shit also, you know, like Ubisoft, you know, Activision, but most of the other ones are all up, right?
Amazon dropped shares a couple weeks ago, last week, I think.
That's the whole company, right? Like, so, you know, I think that's going to be a trend that's going to be up and down.
Yeah. I think that personally, Ubisoft is that they have a good relationship with Xbox, and I think it's going to come into Game Pass like EA Access or whatever it's called. I don't think that Xbox need to buy them. I think we'll get their games via the same way as we do EA. So that will be okay. But WB Games is up for grabs because they've been wanting to offload it for a long time, and there's some good games coming there with Gotham Knights, Suicide Squad, and
Ubisoft has a lot of shit coming out soon too, though. So like,
yeah, but like Ubisoft are already in a relationship with Xbox, so I don't think for 1 minute that Xbox are going to be interested in buying them. I think they're just interested in having some of their games in as like they do EA into Game Pass.
Yeah. Well, I think Ubisoft's going to potentially sell to somebody. And I don't know if it's, I mean, Xbox, I don't know if they'd be in the position to get Ubisoft right now because of the Activision Blizzard thing. Because that's going to be.
They can't touch it until June 23rd next year anyway.
Well, that's when the end of the fiscal year, until after the deal goes through, whenever that is, they couldn't touch Ubisoft. But I think Ubisoft may sell before that.
Could you just start the negotiations now and then like delay it until Activision's closed?
You see how fast
if they are buying it, there's already in talks.
I mean, you saw how fast the Activision Blizzard deal went through, right? I mean, that was like before the talk started. There was like about a month, right, between them when they started talking and when they like went to public with it, right?
As far as we know, could have been a lot longer.
Well, no, they have
you
to.
You don't know what goes on behind.
Yeah,
the
they had to
scenes.
disclose all this stuff publicly. They had to disclose all of it publicly with all the meetings and everything that took place. Like it's part of the public information now. So all of that stuff is out there.
I mean, they could unofficially sound stuff out and have a connection before they ever go into.
Yeah, I'm saying
talks.
like you delay the negotiations like as long as you can, like stall it for like a year. It's just like put so much lawyer shit in it. It's like
yeah.
Pong Soul, welcome to the show. Help me out, man.
What am I helping you out with? You were doing just fine on your own. Hi, fam.
No, like, what's up, dude? I hope you had a good drive in the rain home.
Oh, man. we got sexy psycho here tonight. Oh, I like it. ASMR psycho. I like it. What do we need help with?
Well,
here?
no, we're talking about. We were going to talk about WB, right? Jasper's on the fence. Like he doesn't think there's any reason that they'd want to sell them, or that they thinks it's all just rumors right now. But then we can start talking with Ubisoft, right?
If you want to look at WB, look at Netflix. Netflix is trying to get their streaming stuff into gaming. So if Discovery's going to follow that same route, they'll want to have their own gaming part in their streaming software coming up.
Nope.
Yeah, I think they got to figure out.
That's not what their plans are.
Yeah, I think they got to figure out their streaming shit first.
Yeah, that's too much to take on at one time, and they really don't have any interest in the gaming side of things. Just like, Microsoft for the longest time didn't have any interest in the entertainment side of things, right? That's why we don't see.
Yeah, but are we looking at their short term thinking, or are we looking?
We have to because of their debt load, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the whole reason why this happened is because they all. The reason why they split up was to get rid of some of that debt load, right? Because WB could not hold on to that, right? So they did this in part because of that. So they already are, I'm not going to say by any stretch of the imagination, in financial trouble. They're not. But the point being is they don't have the capacity and the resources to take on moving forward with a big, huge, gigantic project like trying to create a streaming service with gaming, all of that kind of stuff. I just don't think they can. Look at Netflix is already starting to fail, right? So, and Netflix is gigantic compared to WB, right? So I just don't think that they want to do that right now. I think it's too big of a risk. As much as gaming is booming and as much as the industry, we're in the golden age and everybody's pouring money into it. This is still a high risk business. You have 1-2 bad AAA games, you're in a bad spot. And I just don't think that they want to handle that right now. That's all.
Netflix came out and said that even though that they've took a hit, they still want 50 games in their service by the end of the year.
Yeah, but they're going to take a hit elsewhere, right? That's why you saw the anime division go, right? The anime division is basically done at this point because they trimmed, right? They said, okay, well, we are going to continue with gaming, but we got to trim this over here. With WB Discovery, they know what they're good at, and that's movies and TV. They're not so sure they're going to be good at gaming. Netflix wants to take the risk. I just don't think WB Discovery wants to take that risk.
It's a big undertaking to finance these games that take 10 years, 7 years, 8 years to come out when you're also trying to get your own platforms all merged together to one the epic streaming service. Like Netflix already has that, right? So they have the established thing, even though their numbers are going down or up or whatever, they still have an established huge platform to be able to try and get some games in there. And the purpose for them doing that is to try and get more revenue and be part of this whole unified ecosystem. But WB Discovery is a new.
And let's
company.
remember Netflix. Man, sorry to interrupt. Yeah. Let's remember too, Netflix isn't right now showing any interest in doing AAA games. Right, we're talking about small mobile-like experiences, right? So that's a big difference here as well.
The other aspect, going back to Ubisoft, where the difference between this and Ubisoft is Ubisoft would have to be looked at under all of the FTC stuff and everything, just like Activision Blizzard, right? So I think Ubisoft, if they are being sold, will be sold sooner than later, and I don't think Xbox could wait that long. I think other buyers are already interested, and there's already going to be potential bids submitted if any of those bids are acceptable to Ubisoft for an official bid. If that comes to fruition, you could see an offer from somebody officially to Ubisoft. At that point, it has to be disclosed, and at that point, it'll become public and all that stuff, right? So we could see that in the next couple months. Who knows? Because the rumblings have already started. Back when Activision Blizzard rumblings first started, it was actually the Wall Street Journal that started that, saying that because they were actually taking such a big hit, they could be at risk for a takeover. And that ended up happening within a couple months after that with the announcement of the Microsoft acquisition. So this is kind of following that same pattern for Ubisoft, but I don't think Xbox will be in play there unless it does get pushed back until after the whole Activision Blizzard deal goes through, which I think will be at the earliest into this year, possibly, which is still 8 months away. So that leads me to think that that's not going to happen. But if you look at WB Discovery, they're looking at piecemealing those studios out, right? They're going to pretty much split them up, say, okay, who's going to auction them off to the highest bidders, sell them out, to take private offers for different companies, and then they can do those transactions, and those don't have to go through the same regulation that the Ubisoft deal would have to go through, and it could affect potentially like people's how much they argue against the Microsoft and Activision deal and in the government and stuff, but say, oh well, they also acquired this people, but they can't. It wouldn't be like another big ass hurdle because it's just like a 1 or 2 studios, unless they went out and got the whole thing. Which
I think
don't know
with
if
the
they do that.
WB thing also, if they're going to sell off like studios, what you're going to see first is like studios that have already like finished their game. Like maybe in the next year, the Traveler's Tale team, since they just finished Star Wars, they'll rake in all the Star Wars money and then sell that studio off.
Well, yeah,
and
they would already
wait
make the
on,
money
like,
from those because they're already the publisher, right?
Yeah, and then they'll wait on like people making Gotham Knights. They'll like wait for that to come out so they make all the money off that, and then they can sell those. Like I think.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be a long process no matter what. I think unless somebody comes in to offer some ridiculous amount of money for the whole kit and caboodle, right? The absolute everything, right? Unless somebody just drops more money than we're thinking about right now for everything, including DC and all the licensing and everything. I think piecemealing this out, they're just right now starting to take kind of feelers again, like they did initially when we heard Xbox was bidding on studios and they turned down all those bids because they weren't enough. I think right now they're just getting those feelers out there. And so it's going to take a while for them to establish, okay, has the value of these studios gone up, right? Has it gone up enough where we do want to right now start getting rid of them, or do we wait another year and see if that goes up even more as talent becomes harder and harder to find, right? They're going to play a little game here. So I think it just depends on that. And the greatest unknown is the IP, right? The licensing. That's the greatest unknown.
Which that was part of the rumor too, right? That they were planning on keeping the licensing,
Correct. And if that's the case, well, then we all know that the value of those studios is not what it, would be in their minds without that licensing, right? Or with that licensing, you should say. With that licensing, they're worth a lot more. Without it, you're just buying people and you're buying buildings, and that's it. You're buying talent, right? But again, that talent's been doing licensed IP for so long, there's a great unknown there. Now, I think the only one that wouldn't count for is NetherRealm, right? I think NetherRealm would automatically take their Mortal Kombat license. Well, they wouldn't automatically. I guess it's still technically owned under Discovery, but I can't imagine Discovery holding the Mortal Kombat license for anybody but NetherRealm. I think that's the only one where you can kind of wrap that up in one deal. But all these other stuff, all this DC stuff,
Batman, all that stuff,
yeah. I mean, again, you have to, if you're going to take those teams, I mean, Xbox's perspective, if you're going to take those teams on, you have to do an exclusivity deal for the licensing, and it has to be long term. I heard Rand and Jez talking about this today on Xbox too, and I had said it earlier before when they first started talking about it. You're looking at, you got to go for a 20, like a 10, 15, 20 year licensing agreement, so that nobody else can do anything with it, right? And that's the only way this is going to have a lot of value.
Well, I think they're also looking at what Disney's doing, right? And now, okay, Disney's got this huge streaming platform, and how many like Star Wars and Marvel games and all this stuff do we see getting kicked off? And guess what? Who's not having to fund any of it, right? Disney,
correct?
Right, correct. And they're going to make a cut of all of it, because of the licensing agreement. So if you're WB Discovery and you see what Disney's doing right now. Well, heck yeah, we have this Batman license, and instead of having to fund just our own games, and we get to make only like a few a year, or a few that come out every few years. I mean, now you can license it out, and you got like 20 projects in the work. Maybe the return for them is almost as good as if they made them themselves, and you have less risk. Plus, you also can focus more on just streaming stuff. So I think even if the studios aren't worth it as much for them, I think cost-wise for them, they're looking at how much it costs for them to operate those studios and to invest in those games. And for them, it could be worth unloading those studios, even if you have to sell them for less than you would with the IPs, just so you don't have to fund those games and you can focus on the streaming stuff. And I think that's where they're going to go, because when they announced the deal had finally gone through, they made this huge long thing. It's like on the website, is sent to all the media and everything. They didn't talk about games.
Right.
All they talked about was their big streaming giant that they want to make, and it didn't include any of their gaming. They didn't talk about, Rocksteady. They didn't talk about NetherRealm. They didn't talk about any of that stuff. All they talked about was DC, and they talked about their streaming giant, right? I think you're on mute, Jasper.
Didn't they announce that there was some dude that was like the president of WB Games now? So like they made a somewhat of an announcement. Like they made a president of the games division.
When they first had the deal start in the works, yeah. But like when
they gotta have somebody in, they
Yeah.
have to have somebody in place because they got games in production, right?
Yeah.
So they gotta have somebody kind of leading the way right now.
It's
So.
just if
Yeah,
it was
that's
in
the
their
guy
plans,
trimming the fat as far as the expenditures and things like that, making sure they keep everything within budget.
I mean, I think even like when this deal initially was announced, we had Lil Ray on the show, CMBR Ray. You know, he writes for Iron Lords. He's actually like a financial guru kind of. He deals with a lot of this stuff, and he kind of saw this coming actually when he was going over all of this. I mean, he kind of said, you know, that eventually like they could, you know, sell all these studios off, but he didn't know if it was going to happen before it went down, before closed, or after, right? So I think that's kind of where we're at the boat now. I think those rumblings are there for a reason, and the question is like, is one company potentially going to go in there and buy all the studios without the IP, right? Maybe you get Mortal Kombat, like Pong said, or are they going to be piecemealed out? Right, and if that's the case, potentially you could have some closures as well, which would be
For sure.
the worst case scenario, right? In my opinion, but that's just an unfortunate reality of what could be taking place here, right?
Right.
Because they may not see some studios as being as valuable to run without the IP that they come with, right? So
Correct. Yep.
I do think WB is more likely to sell than Ubisoft. Like I think. That's just where I'm at. I think Ubisoft is safer from a sell than WB.
Yeah.
Now, they don't really have to announce to the FTC or DOJ if it's under a certain domination. Microsoft, if they decide to purchase. So if it's reasonable priced, they can pick up any of these studios as long as it's under that dollar amount. I think it was like
It's like
500
million. It's
was
not
it
500 million.
200 million. I think I was
Yeah.
talking to
Something
Ray.
Insomniac was sold for 500 mil, right? And
Was it 500 million?
No, I think it was like around 200 mil or something.
Yeah,
it was
I thought it was
extremely
200 mil.
low
Can't remember.
Yeah.
for what
So-
it was.
200
that
mil.
didn't-
Like
they didn't have any
anything
IP.
low money. I believe that they really they might not look at it and they're like, okay, whatever. It's not a high dollar amount. They might just be able to get away with picking up some of these studios if they piecemeal it. If it's a one huge acquisition, then I don't see Microsoft going after any of them. But if they're piecemealed, I could definitely see them. If it's under 500 million, easy, possibly going getting a couple of these. I don't see the FTC or the DOJ going after them for that because they got a 70 billion acquisition going on right now. They might not be like, okay, that's nothing to get all this people involved. So
Yeah.
could possibly, because someone, I forget who it was, somebody on Twitter was like, oh, right now Microsoft's is stuck with Activision. Sony needs to come in and buy up Warner Brothers, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
And I kind of agree with that, though. If somebody's going to make a move, now's the time.
Yeah.
We talked about this, right? So I think we talked
Well,
about
yeah.
here. We talked about it because this is the time when the biggest predator in the water is tied up with a whale right now. All the other sharks are going to start feeding because they know that big guy over there is not coming around because he can't take on that as well, right? But like you said, Psycho, if they do it piecemeal, nothing's stopping them. There's no law against it, right? They can even do a deal big enough that does get the attention of the FTC, DOJ, because they have to look at that completely separate. Now, you can say humans being humans. Of course, they're going to take that into consideration. I don't think Microsoft wants to make too many waves while this deal is still going through. But if something makes sense, and if it means that they keep something away from somebody that they want, they will probably go do it, right? Outside of a big full publisher, like outside of buying all of WB, I think that they would go for it to not let somebody like Tencent walk away with, you know, Rocksteady or NetherRealm. I think NetherRealm is probably their priority, right? I think that's the studio that Phil probably covets the most with the Mortal Kombat license, because he's wanted a fighting. They need a group that can make fighters, you know, period, point blank. So I think that's the one, and I think that he would attempt to outbid anybody on NetherRealm just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere else and take the chances with the FTC and DOJ. I just looked it up. It's anything 92 million, above 92 million.
Okay. Yeah, because I was talking to Ray today about it. He said 200 million is usually where they still don't really they have to file regardless, but they don't look.
They don't necessarily look, right? They let it go through no matter what. They just don't file anything.
Yeah, and it depends on what he said. Even 500 million, depending on what it is.
Right.
Also, it's like they might go, okay, whatever. So
so
it would be nice to get
Insomniac was 229.
229. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, at the end of the day, none of this makes any difference to the industry, because again, Microsoft will still be number 3 overall. The way the law is written right now, again, even if this gets turned down, Activision Blizzard, they're going to fight it in courts, and more than likely than not, the courts would overturn it and say it's allowed, because again, it doesn't fit any of the current law as to why the FTC or DOJ could stop it. So that part, I think, is why Satya is so confident and why Phil is so confident in this deal. It's just that they got to go through the process, period.
Yeah, I would like to see NetherRealm, Monolith, and Rocksteady is the 3 studios, because having the DC game studio on your, well, I don't know if we get the DC franchise, but if we do, able to get, I mean, we'll have somebody that knows how to make those type of franchise games. So if we need to make a DC game, a Marvel game, something, at least we'll have, Xbox could have a developer.
I would like to see Traveler's Tale and finally get that Halo Mega Box game, since they make all the Lego games.
That's actually good. But in Xbox is, and because of Bethesda as well, but Xbox is rumored now to be getting more into the licensed properties, right? With the rumors of a potential Star Wars game being made by ZeniMax Online, then another potential Marvel IP potentially being made by Roundhouse, right?
We know Indiana Jones.
Jones. So there's no reason to think that they couldn't potentially be interested in acquiring studios to make licensed games.
Did you see my speculation of what Marvel game that could be?
What was it?
When the Doctor Strange, because of the Doctor Strange controllers.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what if there's more to it? Because Microsoft likes to fucking just like do stuff, and then like all of a sudden you're like, you look back, you're like, they showed those controllers, or whatever, and you're like, those mother.
Yeah, they do all those like
promotion
deals,
for movies though.
Yeah. Like they do
but
like promotions for so many different things, like it's crazy.
Yeah, I know, like Sonic and things like that, but Doctor Strange, that would be nice.
So let's play a little game here, right? Let's say that this is happening. This is a little fun speculation, acquisition season type talk here, okay? What
are we playing?
We'll go around the table here. Pick one studio from WB Games that you want the Xbox to acquire, and the rest, just assume that the rest is not obtainable, right? So you can only get one. What is it going to be?
I already said mine, so Traveler's Tale, Mega Block, Halo.
Okay. Fuzzy?
Batman.
For me,
Kate wants Batman. That's not a studio, but I guess you would mean you want Rocksteady. You want Rocksteady.
Whatever.
You know what she meant.
Yeah, Rocksteady. We'll count that as Rocksteady because
wouldn't it be cool if we had Batman, since PlayStation has Spider-Man?
They could pull that off.
Like,
because part of the reason, because they have a good working relationship at Sony. If they brought in Rocksteady that has a good existing relationship with DC, and also WB Games, that whole ecosystem, it'd be easier to potentially get DC games exclusive on that platform as well. So that would be a way to do that, regardless if they own Batman or not, right? So
Black Canary.
So Kate says Rocksteady.
For me, I'm going to say NetherRealm, and the main reason why I picked them is to block Sony, because if Sony gets NetherRealm, then they'll have fighters on lock. So to kind of be like a chess move, they got to get NetherRealm. I mean, Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct.
They don't
we
have
need
Smash
our own
Bros.
fighter. Yeah, like a Smash Brothers kind of possible fighter coming later down the road type of deal. I would say NetherRealm would probably be the one to get to kind of block what Sony probably has their eyes on. Because I would have to believe, considering they want to have the esports tournaments for fighters, they're looking at NetherRealm. So they're probably licking their chops right now.
Yeah. How about you, Psycho?
Well, I've always said Monolith.
Yeah.
Just for the Nemesis engine, because what they were able to do with, what was it, Shadow of Mordor and
Shadow of War and
Shadow of War. And there's a new one in the making.
That engine just hasn't been really utilized outside of that, so it would be definitely nice addition. They have that engine and the talent from Monolith.
Right on. So what about you, Lupa? What studio would you take from WB Games if you had to only pick one?
Oh, I want two.
Can't have it. It's cheating.
Monolith, because of Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor. There's a new one in the pipeline. I know it's being made, but other people say I'm poo-pooing. I'm not poo-pooing. I'm pew-pewing.
Hey, it's okay to speculate. I know that Lord of the Rings IP is up for sale right now. From the company that holds the whole Tolkien.
One of the hobbits just said he saw like a preview or something, and he's like, it looks really good. So the show.
Yeah, for the Amazon Prime show. Yeah. So who knows what's going to happen with that? But
I think that'd be a good studio to have as well for the Nemesis engine is Monolith, because Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor.
That's the name of the third
really
one.
Good games. Yeah, it'd be Shadow of Mordor. They're really good games. But secondly, I would like Avalanche software for Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah.
That's a really good game they're making there, and I think they can do an awful lot better as well. So, yeah, those two, I think.
Right on. What about you, Pong?
Because I like different games to you guys.
Yeah, no, I mean that's fair. That's why we're each picking one. The crazy thing is I think so. Jasper took Traveler's Tales. Fuzzy took. Who did you take, Fuzzy?
NetherRealm.
Psycho took Monolith. AssassinLupa took Monolith. So, and Kate took Rocksteady. So there's only one studio here that's been picked twice so far, and it's honestly the one I would expect. Not the least, but one of the surprises. Pong Soul.
Yeah.
Who is it?
All of it. Discovery. You buy it all. Look, I'm gonna get my bars off. I'm going against the rules.
Okay, Mav.
Yes, I'm gonna break the rules like Mav. Look,
you need to go buy WB Discovery. I know.
I was gonna say that, but Mav says you can only have one.
I know. But let me just say this real quick for the chat, because we've had this conversation.
Yep.
This is the move you make, and Rand is all on board with this too. Again, on Xbox 2, he did, but we've talked about this so many times in the past. This is the move that Microsoft has to make if they're going to get into the entertainment business. And I think they could pull this one off. Again, it would take some finagling, but because this deal would also include all the studios for movies and TV, and Sony already has a big part of that over on their side, there is no way that it could be argued that a deal, even as big as Discovery, would cause any problems, because the gaming division is so small compared to their movies and TV. This is the move you make, Microsoft. Phil, if you guys are going to get back into this and you guys are going to make the ultimate streaming service, which I do believe is your goal down the road, because that's where everything's going, as we talked about, we're going to see consolidation in the entertainment industry. This is your moment. Kind of like the Activision Blizzard deal dropping out of the sky. If this is for real, They really want to do this, and they're talking it. You go big, and I think you make it happen. However, you got to make it happen. Even if it does threaten the Activision Blizzard deal, I would still go through it and do it because I think you need this, and I think it would solidify you, even if you're not prepared per se at this right now moment to make a big splash like that. You only get these chances so often with so much established content, already have established studios, TV, everything you need, plus streaming services like HBO, all of it. You've got it all in one package. I think you do it right now. That's my spiel because I think we need to say that again.
Yeah, I
that's the
agree.
future.
I agree with you.
There's
bro.
still too much
Yeah.
paperwork going on with I think their deal that they just wrapped up. That is, I don't know if they would even be able to buy that though.
They could. It would just come under a huge scrutiny, right? Again, both would have to be taken separately. Again, human nature being what it is, of course, the FTC and DOJ would be looking at it differently. But I'm saying they would have to look at each deal separately for what it is and what it presents as far as an acquisition goes, and whether or not it does, mess up competition, right? That's supposed to be what the rules are written for, is the competition at the end of the day. And I don't see it impeding upon any competition in any one area by them making that move whatsoever. So again, I said my piece. It is what it is. It's probably not going to happen, but let's say they get this Activision Blizzard deal done quickly and just move right in on Discovery. If I had to pick one, again, I agree with Fuzzy as far as NetherRealm from a need point. I already pointed that out, and I think that's Phil's priority number one. Got a great relationship with Ed Boon and that team over there. There's so much crossover between WB and Xbox right now. They have hired more and more people. There's a bunch of hires they got from Rocksteady. They're currently working on Fable. Look, this is a natural made kind of deal here, no matter which one of these studios you take. I think I'd go Rocksteady though. Rocksteady to me has the most talent that I think even without the licensing, if you just gave that team the freedom to come up with their own IP, or let's say the Activision Blizzard deal does go through, and then you've got all that old IP underneath Activision Blizzard that Phil has talked about, right? I think you give them one of those IP and they can do wonders with it. That's how talented I think Rocksteady is. Now, they've lost some people. Again, there's a lot of people that came over to Xbox and started working in Playground, but I think at this moment, that's the most talented team and the one that could easily transition to doing something outside of just Batman. That's my point. So Rocksteady it is.
Right on.
And shout out to Jez. He pointed out Prototype, right? So if they get Activision Blizzard and you want a superhero game, an anti-superhero game, whatever you want to call it, you give them Prototype and let them reinvent Prototype. And all of a sudden you got your hero game. Now Prototype's nowhere near as known as DC or Marvel, but that doesn't mean they couldn't create something that blows up and all of a sudden everybody really likes Prototype, right? So I think that's what I would personally do.
Yeah.
And since Pong's already broken the rules, I'm assuming Matt's going to go buy EA.
No, I was going to try and stick to the rules.
Good. There's only one rule breaker per question, and that was me this time.
Yeah. Now, but I keep, I was waffling back and forth. And at first I was with NetherRealm. Okay. I was all aboard the NetherRealm train. And I my heart, I don't want to split them up. If I was to pick two, it would be NetherRealm and Rocksteady, But because I really want this one specific game to potentially happen one day, just for the small percentage of chance that it could, I have to go with Rocksteady here. And that potential game, because if you are acquiring these studios, and that means DC and WB Discovery is going to be licensing out the DC license, right? That means that they're going to be licensing that out, and that all these licenses are going to be up for grabs, and you could potentially sign a deal to make a game.
They just started an NFT project today with DC and Batman.
Did they?
Yeah, you can get $300 Batman art.
Yay!
How many did you pick up, Jasper?
I didn't pick up any. You don't get them till May. You can buy them now, but you won't get them till May.
They haven't made them yet, probably. So
you got to mint them. That's what it's called in NFTs. Minting. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, they got to create the art. Maybe they haven't even made the art yet. Did you get to see it? Do you get to see it before you buy them, or is it?
It's like it's like 2 billion variants of Batman helmets that are going to be like mashed together or something.
I don't know. It's amazing.
Oh wow, the world.
I got to start saving my pennies.
So this game, just for the potential hope of one day getting this game, I want a Arkham Knight style Rocksteady developed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game. And
Oh God, it's been done to death.
no, not like this. Yeah, we've never had a serious, dark,
You
mature
just had a lot of beat 'em
style
ups.
TM. Not necessarily beat 'em up, but like
Yeah, I'm just saying you had a lot of beat 'em up turtle games.
yeah, a lot of beat 'em up turtle games. You've had like some action, like kind of beat 'em up as well, like the Platinum game. That came out. That was okay. But
What, do you want
nobody's
a
like
talking
sit there
game then?
with a big budget and done TMNT justice in a game. The closest we've seen is in Injustice, made by NetherRealm, when you have the turtles as playable characters in that as downloadable as DLC. But if you actually took Rocksteady, right, and you gave them the Turtles license and you said, "Hey, go to town on this," and you made it like, imagine like dark New York City at night.
Isn't that a character in Ninja Turtles, Rocksteady?
Yeah, Rocksteady and Bebop. So it even already fits, You go all out on this. You go back to like the original, what the original design was for the turtles and stuff, and you go dark, you go, gritty, and you have a storyline. You got great stuff going. They could do so much with that. One of the most popular, underutilized IPs in gaming. We got stuff like, Shredder's Revenge coming, but nothing like this, and that's why I go with Rocksteady. Because I think if you give them to like some other random dev, random publisher, I don't know if I foresee something like that happen, but I can foresee something like that happening if you go big, because that game would be built for co-op, right? 4-player, which is like Microsoft's MO. You already see them kind of doing some aspects of that with Suicide Squad, right? Kill the Justice League. So. Yeah, that's what I want. We'll go with Rocksteady, number 1.
No, you're not having it. We're having Monolith because, like, Shadow of War. See, that's a third-person action RPG. Make it open world. That's exactly what Xbox need right now.
Yeah, or you could make a giant Mega Bloks Minecraft style game that's live service and make money for years off people like Roblox.
No, you will never match Minecraft. It's a done deal. Nothing will come close.
Yeah. All right, so we're all separate. I overall, like, I agree with Pong. If Microsoft wants to get in on the whole entertainment side besides just gaming, this is the best opportunity you can have. And
Once in a
lifetime. Some have presumed that that's one of the reasons this company was formed, was to potentially be more attractive to other companies like Disney and such. So we'll see. They're going to try and build it up and make it as valuable as possible. We'll see if they get acquired by somebody, Amazon, Disney. Who knows? But if Microsoft wanted to take that leap, that would be the company to do it on, for sure.
I kind of
If
feel like
FTC
Amazon's on
allowed
the
Disney to
sideline.
go. If
Fox
FTC allowed Disney to buy, it'd be freaking.
Yeah, that would be nuts. After they already acquired Fox.
Yeah, come on, man. Talk about limited competition.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
No, but Amazon being on the sideline, I just feel like they're like the evil guy that ties people to railroad tracks, twirling their mustache type of thing. Like, I can totally see them swooping in, because then that would give them potentially, if they pick up the IPs, that gives them more material for Amazon Prime, as far as for DC properties and things like that, as well as the gaming aspect. So when their streaming service goes full blown, they at least have some titles that people will recognize and more than likely want to sign up for it to at least have access to. So
shout out to you, Fuzzy. Shout out to you, by the way. There's not too many people here or in the chat that would recognize the Dudley Do Right reference right there, my friend. Old guy stuff. Yes.
No, Vic, come on now, Vic. This is slander. All right. You're not gonna swing around the sewer system. You're gonna use your like shit and slide around the sewers. You're gonna like you remember like all the
get on your shell and slide.
Yeah, you could get on your shell and slide, or you
skateboard.
The skateboarding.
Rocket skateboards.
They got they had all the like they had remember they had the swamp boats, in the sewers back in the day with the fans on the back of it. You remember that?
Heck yeah.
All that stuff. I mean, they had a turtle van. You could shoot pizzas at people and decapitate them with pizzas. You know, come on, you got so many opportunities with the turtles that aren't utilized. You got cool looking enemies that are made out of.
They also have like
and...
robot people that they fight. You know.
Yeah, they got the whole Foot Clan, so you got to always be on your toes because you could be like attacked by ninjas at any time. You know what I mean? Master Splinter, so you could do like training sessions. You know, God, they could do so many different things. Investigations with April. Then you got
we're gonna investigate with her. All right.
What was it? What's his name? Casey with the hockey stick and the mask. Yeah,
Casey Jones.
Yeah, let's go, man.
Jason as a good guy. That's basically what it was.
Yeah, basically.
What are you doing, Kate?
Let's go.
Caitlin.
You got so much potential there, bro. Oh my gosh. Just think about the toys in the 90s.
Like him a lot.
You could
Right?
you could have like a sequel and do like Turtles in Time and then send them to ancient Japan
And fight Shredder.
Yeah, right. His descendants and stuff. Yeah.
What is she watching?
Who?
Me?
Yes, you.
I'm older.
Oh, okay.
It's like to the side of me.
Oh, it looks like you changed. Like, so I'm like, what is she? Is she watching a movie right now? Like, you're like very
Yeah.
glued to whatever.
So hey guys,
Sorry.
that's. I'm just.
It's Friday.
Yeah, she's. I think she's watching. She's got like a dual screen situation going. Like
Yeah, I have dual screens, and the one that y'all are on.
Oh,
Yeah, she's focusing on TikTok. It's more important right now.
yeah, she's
Probably.
getting that influencer ratings in.
we got her first product in the mail today. Oh, I'm not
Nice.
allowed to say what it is.
Hmm.
But
Does it vibrate?
Has it got long ears?
I mean, it could be a cake mixer. You never know.
Never mind. I'm not even gonna go.
oh,
there.
also Pope made her a special controller this morning.
Was
Really?
it the
Yeah.
Spyro controller?
Early this morning
It's
at
like
like
ice cream,
at 4 a.m. Yeah.
pink ice cream.
Pink ice cream.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can't bring it up on the screen. So shout out to the Pope, who just went above and beyond as usual and just does awesome things for the community.
He's always Xbox Pope. He just went Pope art.
He's
You know,
Pope art because he can't be tied.
He has to be
one
neutral.
Product. He has to be.
Right.
yes, that's why he's always Xbox Pope to me.
I'm gonna bring up
Forever
a
and
picture
ever.
here. Here's a glance. Let's see if I can get. There you go.
I've seen
It's on the
it, I've
YouTube.
seen it.
It's not
Yeah.
from the restream for us.
Yeah. I didn't share it on the.
I was like, where is it?
Yeah, because if I hit the share on my
Oh,
end,
that's
it's
cool.
like,
I can't see on the YouTube. Maybe I'm behind a little bit. Okay,
The
I'm like,
Caitlin Fancy Edition with sprinkles.
Yeah, we noticed. I noticed after he accidentally misspelled Caitlin, but everybody accidentally misspells Caitlin. But that's okay.
they do. Nobody can spell Caitlin.
Why?
Fuck it.
I don't know. Everybody spells it with a Y, even though like they're like adding her with an I, and then they spell it with a Y afterwards. Or like this in this case, I accidentally left out an I. So it's just. But anyway, amazing controller.
Caitlin.
Fire, love it. So shout out to the Pope.
So what was it, Catlin?
He's a talented guy.
Yeah,
he's
it's
super
alright,
talented.
though.
Like shit, we were just streaming last night, playing Bug
Yeah,
Snacks.
we were.
And he's hop in the chat because sometimes he'll hop on, stop by and say hello. And then she was just like, "Yeah, I want a controller that looks like an ice cream cone." And he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna send it to you in the morning."
No, I was like, I want the bottom half to look like, like the waffle cone.
Yeah.
And I want the
Yeah.
top half to look like pink, like ice cream, like melting down with sprinkles.
Yeah.
And we nailed it.
Pong and Lupa missed a great chat last night. You guys, it was
I caught it
so
this
off the
morning.
hook.
I know. I called it this morning. Sometimes I just have to miss things.
So all right. Besides that news that happened today.
I love the Spyro one he made. That was awesome.
Oh, despite
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that was the one he made for her, but then
No.
no.
I don't even know what Spyro is.
It's a purple.
He's a little
dragon.
purple dragon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he
Yeah, I'll
vibrates.
send it to you in our chat.
Well, Xbox owns Spyro. after this deal? Is that Spyro Activision?
That
closing?
is
Oh,
correct.
yes.
That is
It
Activision.
Yes, that's Activision. It's
I
one
think
of the
Twister
good
and
things
Crash
about
made
the
the
deal.
remaster.
That and Crash.
Man, there's so many opportunities for like new games. It's gonna be insane. But they already have so many other IPs they don't utilize, like Conquer and all these things, you know. So we'll see.
Well, Conquer is one of those games that, because of the time, makes it so great. They can't.
You can't
What
do
is-
Conquer.
What
Can't do it.
the content?
You
Yeah,
can't.
how it was. You can't, because then people will be like, that is not right. You can't say that. You can't do
Didn't he, like,
that.
smoke
I
and stuff?
identify
Like,
as
I
this.
He did a
Yeah.
lot of things.
Well,
Yeah.
he does a lot of things in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
there's a lot of
South Park
Yeah.
gets away
Conquer
with it.
it gets neutered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, South Park is different.
South Park's the only ones that can get away with it, right? Because they are untouchable. They've been
Well, they
around
did
for
put
so
it in rare
long.
replay. So
They did put it in rare replay, but they still.
Well, but just put like a big ass M for mature sticker on the box, like a huge one.
Yeah, that's
I
what I
think
say
the-
about everything. Why do you have ratings if you're not going to use them?
Right.
There should be adult games, but
Yeah,
I
they're
think Conquer
even
might be rated A if it was made today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think
pretty
so?
much with the dude, bro, replay it and you're gonna be like, holy.
I did try
shit.
and replay it. I just don't
There's
remember,
some
but like
sexy squirrel stuff that takes place.
it just doesn't hold up
That-
very well, like as far as the
the
controls.
mighty
it doesn't
poo.
hold up at all.
The mighty poo. Oh my god, that is insane. It's nuts.
So all right, other news, huge news. We smelt it coming from a mile away.
You did, Insider.
Yeah, Pong did too. I know you did. You were eyeballing me in the DMs, and you know, for anybody that gave me crap about the nose thing, he instigated it.
Here we go. Yep, I baited
Instigator.
Mav into putting himself out there in public. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have to do that, but
Well, you did multiple smell posts too, so
I did. Well, you know, after the first one got 1,000 likes, it's like, hey, why not just do a couple more? You know, I'm just no, but like we were right though. You know, we never claimed to know anything specific. We just smelled that big news was coming, and it happened. We got the date for the Xbox showcase, and there's a little bit of like we wondering like how's the show gonna go? How long is it gonna be? You know, they didn't even say. I think they would have announced if it was a live thing with an audience so far, because they would try and make sure people make plans for that. If they were gonna open it up, I think they would have announced that at the same time. But there still didn't say 100%. It was a digital only event. So there's some speculation out there about that possibility. But I'm curious, what's the over under? Because last year they had 30 games. So I want 30 exact games from Jasper right now. Tell me 30 games. No, I'm just kidding. No, don't do that. Are they going to be more or less than last year?
I think
More.
I think they're going to
Much
bring in some
more.
EA games because EA's not having a show. Like I think we'll get Need for Speed there, since that's supposed to come out in 2022, and that would be like a big stage for them to show it. But then I don't know, like, but I'm just like confused on that because then we might get motorsports and that might interfere. So I'm just thinking like 2 racing games. I don't know, but
Okay.
that's just kind of where I'm at. I think we'll get a lot of EA stuff there this year, besides just like Xbox and Bethesda as the third party studio.
Okay. What about you, Fuzzy? You think over under of 30?
I think they will probably have it at either 30 or maybe 1 or 2 more. Like they got to pull like an Apple move with and one more thing type of thing at the end or something. But I think they're going to try at least match the same type of pacing and similar number of games that they did last year, but maybe have 1 or 2 extra at towards the end type of thing, like even if it's just like a title announcement type of thing or something like that. Something like Guitar Hero, although it might be a little too early to say something like that just yet because the Activision ink isn't dried yet, but I think they'll match it or one above.
Okay. So match
They
it
gotta
or
have-
one above.
I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be like a 3-hour show with like 50 games.
The 3-hour show? Really?
Yeah.
They didn't say how long it was, and they made a point last year to say how long it was from the get go, I believe.
Yeah, they did, but it was so much later. I think they're
was.
still getting things together. Obviously.
Yeah, they're not
figuring
filming
it
it right now. I don't think.
No.
They're like
they're still putting it together. Phil said he was
Yeah.
still going through stuff, so piecing it together.
So you think? I heard Lupa. You say more?
Oh yeah, definitely more. I mean, there's 35 studios with all the different groups of people inside them. There's so many games coming we don't know about. It's going to be fire.
Yeah. I mean, if it's half as good as last year's showcase, it's a success.
It's going to be much better. It's going to be on those lines, but like much more content, much more coming. And we're going to see the Starfield Express kick off.
Yeah, that was very like heavily suggested in the artwork.
I think so.
It screams
There's the
Starfield.
Starfield logo with the Xbox logo like pasted on top of it.
Pretty much. You know, it kind of reminds me of what they did last year. They kind of had a lot of hints of Halo, you know, in the art. You know, this year they're putting a lot of Starfield stuff in there, right? So it's gonna be very. I think we're gonna at least get like 5-10 minutes of Starfield footage at the showcase. But Psycho, more or less than 30, you think?
More. I think we're gonna get a lot of world premieres.
Yeah.
And I think there will be about 41 Xbox exclusives at this
41 Xbox exclusives.
I still say we're going to see something on Fable as well.
And I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe
I still
a
think so.
trailer. Maybe
Yeah,
a
well.
full, a better trailer than a fairy getting eaten by a frog. So maybe
If it's
some
coming next year, early next
Like-
year, I think, and they're going to show
Like-
some gameplay, I'm sure.
like gameplay, if anything. I don't know. There's just so much, and there's so much that we really don't know. As you know, if Ubisoft is going to show anything, if 2K, if
Oh, they're going to tell us Ubisoft Access is coming into Game Pass.
I don't
That
think
could
they'll do
be-
any like advertising with like services. I think they're just going to focus all on games.
Yeah, for sure.
I
Like
think
they
they
did
might,
last year.
they might
EA
mix
and
in the service stuff like kind of like they did last year with all of these games with the exception of 2 being in Game Pass. So they might say, hey, we showed this game. Oh, and by the way, it's in Game Pass. So that they'll have it as like a in fine print at the end of that trailer or something like that type of deal.
Okay.
Well, they may do like extra shows because apparently there's a rumor that they're going to have a Halo show like 2 days after. So like maybe they just do like a week of Xbox like show news.
That would be nice.
I think maybe they'll do like the Xbox show and then the Bethesda show, led by God Howard as Pong calls him.
I think it'll just be one show mixed in together with just them Bethesda coming on for like a couple minutes and then Xbox coming on for a couple.
Yeah,
minutes.
that's what I mean. It'll be like they'll have their own like header, if you like.
So you think they're gonna kind
But
of
I
split
think
it
there's
up
gonna-
in the middle, like Xbox then
Yeah.
Bethesda?
Yeah, something like that. If that, or it might just go, if it goes a bit longer. But I think that it has to be like that because God Howard has to have his time in the spotlight, doesn't he? Pong
Yeah.
16 times
Deserves
the
it.
does not. He's a wanker.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, watch the blasphemy, AssassinLupa. Not. I'm a huge Todd Howard fan too. I think.
She'll be turned away at the pearly gates. That's okay. No
Yeah.
problem.
There
I
ain't
think,
no pearly gates. That's why he's no god.
I
We're
think
all human. He bleeds red just like the rest of us, but he's a wanker
Yeah.
to go along with it.
Well, I think Todd Howard
Without
is.
games unfinished.
Did you meet him? Did you meet him?
No,
Oh, okay.
just for what he does.
Oh, okay. So you're
He
judging
rips
somebody.
people
Oh, no,
off.
no, that's okay. That's all you had to say.
Yeah,
Lupa.
I am
got
judging
you. You got
somebody
judge.
for a
You
change.
judged him. You judged
I
him.
did.
Okay.
I did.
All right.
Because he
All right.
puts out games unfinished and rips us off. I'm a gamer. I want the best out of my
The
game.
greatest games of all time are not rip-offs.
No, they're not. Hate Fallout. It's a load of rubbish.
It just works.
Elder Scrolls Oblivion's one of my favorite games of all time. Like, the thing is, with ambition also becomes issue, right? Like, so when you make a game that's bigger than anything else ever made, as far as like a single player RPG at the time, is it gonna have some bugs here and there? Probably so, but I would rather them go for it and then sort of tone it down and release something like Nintendo does, you
Like
know, just
Zelda.
to make sure
Yeah,
you can release
exactly.
something that doesn't have any bugs. You know what I mean? So if you have this huge Western
Doesn't have no
RPG,
bugs though, does it, Pong? Zelda.
well,
Pong.
But
you
that's
know what?
That's part of the charm.
Yeah. If you limit things down to like, we can only play. Let's just make platformers, or let's just make like little arcade style games and stuff. So that way, there's no more bugs ever again. You know what I mean? Like, I want big ambition also. Now,
Did you see Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, I played
yeah,
it.
I saw Breath of the Wild, but it's also like playable on a freaking little Switch. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's only playable on a Switch because that's what they own. That's what they make. But
Yeah,
I mean,
you can play it on a
still,
Wii
it
U,
was still
but
good.
it's making it
It's still
like
good on my OLED TV. But the thing is, I want Nintendo to make a better home console.
yeah.
But you know, you can ask till the cows come home what you get and what you don't get.
What I'm getting at is they're not really pushing the
But
boundaries of like.
that's not a guy standing there screaming, "You got to play Breath of the Wild because it's so awesome."
Yeah. Well, it's not. We're not really pushing the like ambition of like all the dialogue, all the like.
it's
the
ambitious
world,
for Zelda, but not
for
like,
Zelda.
for
If for
modern
Zelda,
gaming.
It
it
went
is.
from
But
a top-down 2D thing, and now it's an open world 3D masterpiece.
it's a great game. It's a great game. I'm just saying, like, okay, all the dialogue
got,
options,
you know,
all the stuff that goes involved with building a game like a Skyrim, right? With pushing the boundaries of at the time of graphics and everything, like to look the way it did and also play the way it did and have all of that world building go into it that goes far beyond anything else really from like single player RPGs. It's like it's a different animal, right? Like it's just you can't really compare one to the other, you know? Like one's pushing boundaries and one's pushing boundaries within itself, right? One's pushing boundaries for the genre, period, you know, and technology and gaming, and one is being as good as you possibly can be on this device, right? And which is cool. Like, no knock against Zelda at all. Love it. I just like I would rather teams go for that ambition, and then maybe there's gonna be a few bugs here and there, than just sacrifice it for the sake of like having a safe game.
They
Right?
can only make the game to fit the system that's there. So therefore, if there was a better system, then Zelda would be a better game.
But that's not what Nintendo does, so we'll never get to see it, right?
Exactly.
Well, you know what I love? First of all,
I can still hope to death that Nintendo do finally bring out a decent home console on the level of PlayStation 5.
Can I just point this out? Wait, hold on,
not
hold
as
on,
good
Lupa,
as
hold
Xbox Series X, but as good as PlayStation 5.
Lupa, first of all, I love you. It's amazing.
No,
It's
you
amazing.
don't.
Yes, I do. I absolutely do, because you wait for me to show up every week, and you've got something. You've got something, and I love our back and forth because we're family, and this is what it's about. But the best part about this is that you started something with me trying to come after me and get me going, and all of a sudden now you got Mav is the one that's doing all the defending.
I'll take you both on.
I get it. I'm not saying like again. Zelda, the whole franchise is great, amazing game. Love it. They built what is possible within the ecosystem. It just doesn't push graphics and like.
No, I wish it did,
Right.
and I'm hoping Breath of the Wild 2 will be better, but it's still on the damn Switch.
If they
it
did
probably
though
will be on the same line.
push things like a Starfield is going to do, would we potentially see some bugs in that?
See, I have to dampen your ardor yet again. Fucking Starfield could go swing for all I care.
Well, exactly. So you're just not a fan of those games, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
You knew this is where she was coming from, right, man?
Yeah, I know she doesn't like Fallout. You don't like Elder Scrolls. You don't. You know. It is what it is.
I did like Oblivion, and I love Dragon Age. So there are a couple of games of his I like. But to be honest, the thing that he's praised for, Fallout, it does nothing for me. It's just
I'm not
boring,
a huge Fallout
fan.
fan.
Same old.
You know.
I mean, it's the same thing every time. It's just copy and paste with a little bit extra thrown in, maybe.
I love
with
it.
all the bugs as well. I mean, look at 76. Damn, I'm glad I didn't buy that game.
No way. What is
Yeah.
it? Wait.
Yeah. Wait,
sir,
what?
you're in the wrong
76 was
place.
Trash.
No, I'm talking about 3-bit showing up out of the blue. He's in the wrong
Yeah.
place.
I've been here. Well,
Yeah,
for like a
3-bit,
minute.
this is not your fan club. This is not your fan club, brother. Okay, you're in the wrong place, wrong time.
I'm just listening. You know, I'm just here.
See, now 3-bit's here. He'll back me up regarding Zelda and Nintendo.
Actually, wow, my mom is calling me.
Coward.
I'm not saying like here's all I'm saying is like for the sake of 0 bugs, that comes with the cost of ambition, right? Because you're not gonna make a game like a Starfield, like a Skyrim, like an Oblivion, like a Fallout 4, Fallout 3 without bugs. It's just not gonna happen.
Skyrim was too hard to get into. Jeez. Damn, I played that for 2 hours and still couldn't get past the boredom. I mean, like, it's like so I'd rather play The Witcher 3 any day.
But it's a personal preference thing, right? So
it is.
But
the thing is that, you know, we had to spartan this up because it was boring.
I thought Skyrim was a representation of your home country.
We can't always agree on everything.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Boring.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I just love to give Pong a dig now and again to get him going because he's gone to sleep.
Now and then? Yeah, okay, all right.
I
think you write down ideas all week long. Just
I do not. It comes straight from the top of the noggin.
We got off track though. Like I agree.
But
like
General Spartan needs to stop it because based on their kid-appropriate library, General Spartan, have a laugh, mate. It's not kid-appropriate.
Now the chat's involved.
Appropriate also.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with him. Like as far as what Nintendo's doing, like he does, they care about power. They don't. Yeah, they're all in it for the sales of selling to the family, right?
They could slap some kids and then people would thank them for it.
Yeah.
I mean, all they have to do is put out a better box, something that's not handheld. We've had the handheld now. It's great, cool. Carry on with that. But it's the handheld that's holding back the home system. If we had a home console, it would be along the power of the Series S, etc. And that's
I mean, they've had the Wii U and the Wii, and that's always been behind, and the GameCube was behind.
It's okay if they're behind.
But we're asking them to not be behind now.
Well, it's okay if they're behind. Like they don't have to be a Series X or PS5 level, but they could be at a Series S level, right? There's no reason.
Mav, you need to start promoting this show in Nintendo Discords because we talk more Nintendo here.
Well, oh, by the way, what's up, 3-bit? Welcome to the show. It's good to see you.
I actually love my Nintendo.
Oh yeah,
games,
said hi
I'll
to him.
stand up for them.
Only been in here for like 5
they're still innovative because they have great stories and they're fun games to play.
Nintendo is very innovative with game design. I do like their games too. I just wish they looked better on the device that I'm playing it on. That's all.
So do I. But
I think most people should be able to agree with that. For some reason, there's people that are just like, no, the Switch is all they ever need to do. I never want a new one. The Switch is just dead.
720p next gen Switch.
The next new one will be coming out next year, along with the release of Breath of the Wild 2. I absolutely stamp that in gold because they delayed Breath of the Wild 2 just so they could release it with the new Switch, so they can sell the damn thing and be top of the sales.
Remember, this is Nintendo. They get crazy sometimes, so we could see like a standalone VR headset or something instead of like a handheld.
They got their little cardboard box. They'll make do with that. I mean, no, the thing is, their lab box thing.
Yeah.
Labo, yeah. The thing is that they won't. What they want to, they know that they sold the Switch the way they did because they bundled it with Breath of the Wild.
If you want a portable Nintendo device, it's going to come in a backpack form because they want you to also be mobile. So you'll get like a backpack console or some shit.
That's not a bad idea.
The new upgraded Switch. The one with the OLED screen, giving you an extra 1/4 inch and a plastic OLED screen, was just a fill-in to keep everybody happy till they release the brand new Switch. You know, number 3 or 4 or 5, whatever it is, but the brand new one, the Switch Pro, whatever. The brand new one will be released next year, and it will be released with Breath of the Wild 2 as it as a package because that's how they made it to sell the most consoles in the year.
I agree with you.
Breath of the Wild.
I almost called you Zelda Lupa. I agree with you, Lupa.
I'm not that bad. I'm not running around in a fancy princess dress.
We're getting back on track here again. So you were at plus or minus Lupa at 30? I forget. You said more. You said more, right? Than 30.
I thought
Yeah,
we were
I said more. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I think there'll be more because there's more studios. There's more games we don't know about that are coming, and I think that it's definitely going to be more. It's going to be about 1.5 hours, 2 hours long. I should think.
Yeah. Okay. Babe, are you still? There's a kid.
What?
She's wearing you out. Do you think? Okay, so you remember the showcase last year when you were all like happy when Pong was like losing his mind, and it was the best thing you ever saw because of how Pong acted, right?
The visor.
So last year they had 30 games shown.
Okay.
Roughly, it could have been like 33, something like that. And this year we're kind of wondering, are they going to show more than that even? So what is your over under? Do you think they're more than last year or less?
I think more because we're more coming out of the pandemic and stuff, and they've had more time to work and develop things.
Wow, that actually is very reasonable. Thought process.
Don't sound so surprised, man.
Oh my god!
You need a slap tonight, man. You can slap ladies off.
He just can't stay out of trouble.
Oh my god!
No, I'm saying that was. I'm acting like that. That's
we should
really
leave in protest right now.
That's really good insight into this, and it's something I really haven't even really thought of. I'm like, it's.
Good recovery, Mav.
They
Good recovery, Mav. Keep going.
Actually, last year they did say that 2022 would be the year that COVID hit bad on the
I know what Mav's getting called later tonight.
Yeah, the sofa.
Yeah, so more than 30.
The sofa.
So do you think because of that, babe, they're going to actually show more gameplay because the games are going to be more ready?
Duh.
Yeah, nothing out, Caitlin.
They've had more time for everything, so I think everything's going to be more ready and polished and good to go and be shown. And yeah, I don't even know why I'm talking to you anymore.
I'm sorry. I love you. I was seriously like, wow, that's like really good. Okay, sorry.
Oh,
all right.
Oh my gosh, she's not so stupid.
I think actually he meant that was a really good take on the question because he hadn't thought of it.
Yes, 100%. I'm not trying to act so surprised, but like I'm saying, that was really good insight. Pong Soul.
Yes, sir.
30 games or more or less.
I'm actually going to be the contrarian here. I'm going to say less.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, I think that because of what we believe is going to be there, I think that we are going to still have great pacing. Don't get me wrong. I don't think this is going to be, it's certainly, they're going to try to keep the pacing. However, I think with Redfall needing to be shown, with Motorsport needing to be revealed, and of course with Starfield getting extra special attention. Again, anybody who doubted that Starfield is coming out this year, anybody who doubted how big Starfield is to Xbox, just go look at that logo for the showcase. It says it all, okay? This is the year, and I think that with those games right there, and then you got something like Avowed, etc., I think they're going to take extra time. They're going to show extra stuff. And like Rand was telling us, Mav, right, that he had heard on PM the PM last night, he had heard that all the studios are actually able to give something this year. Like they're getting something from everybody. So what I think is going to wind up happening, why I say under, is because I think they're going to take more time showing off certain games. I think they're going to have longer kind of presentation, Starfield especially. I think they give Todd 15, 20 minutes to showcase Starfield. I think that's why I think they will lead with that.
You said that funny.
They will lead with Starfield so that the rest of the show gets back to closer to that pacing of last year, so they don't have it broken up, right? I think that's what they're going to do, but I think Redfall gets a longer presentation, not necessarily like a deep dive or anything like that, but I'm just saying a longer showing, and Motorsport as well. So I think that that's going to cut into the time that last year where it was quick hits, right? After quick hit, after quick hit, after quick, that we were like, oh my God, what is going on here? So I think this year it's going to be a little bit shorter, but I think that we're going to have more shows this year. So I think that they give more to Keeley at the Summer's Games Fest. I think that there's very, very good, or I should say, a very high likelihood that we do get an XO this year as well. And they're going to have to save stuff for that. And then, of course, the Game Awards. And we're not even talking about QuakeCon, which they can also use. Gamescom is also in there, but I think then the Games Award of the award show as well. I think so. They've got a lot to show. There's no, everybody here is right about that. Like if they put it all in this show, we're definitely getting more than 30. So I'm all on board with that. I just think this show specifically, they're going to cut back on the number, give us a little bit more better looks at certain games, and then save the rest for these other shows that are going to be available this year. And I think that's the plan going forward, so that it's not all just in one shot. Again, they got a lot to show.
That was some really good insight.
Wow. Wow.
Pong Soul.
Where did that come from? Where did that come from?
Blown away.
Midnight Suns,
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So that's the only reason why I'm being the contrarian. I'm not being the contrarian to be one. I just really think that this year we could see. I still think it's going to be in the 20s. I'm not saying we're going to get 10. I still think it's going to be in the 20s. I just don't think they hit the 30 this year.
Today we're going to showcase 3 games brought to you that are going to release within the next 2 years.
Buckle up for the next 90 minutes, folks.
And then we're going to have a HoloLens demo for Minecraft. That's going to take 20 minutes. And welcome back to Microsoft Game Studios. Kudos to Noda, who's going to reveal the Kinect 2.0. And
if they got motorsports, they got to bring a Porsche out on the stage or something, or a McLaren.
Yeah,
something, whatever the car
let's
is.
make a big applause for the car, right? 3-bit. Where are you at? Plus minus 30 games this year for the Xbox Game Showcase. You were there last year with us, having fun. And do you think it's gonna be more
predictions for like how many we think?
You wanted to actually pick a number? Sure.
Yeah.
We can pick a number after.
And can you write everyone's number down?
Can you do that? Yeah, I can try. Yeah, I'll do it. All right.
48 games is my number.
3-bit, you're on mute, man. I don't know what the hell you're trying to do here, dude. But like,
whoops.
See, he got lost. He got lost. He's not even prepared.
How many did they show last year?
Like 33, I think, something like that. 30, around that number.
I just want to. Can I just say 52?
30.
Sure.
This 52. Be the higher.
52, like 1 per week.
Yeah. Wait, what?
That's you're not counting the indie game part where they show like 20 indie games. You count like the
1 a week for every week.
Last year there was a total of like 30 to 33. I don't remember the exact number. Somewhere between 30 and 33.
I'd say
it was like 33. I think they're gonna show less games, like 26. Yeah, I think they're gonna show less games, but just because kind of what you guys are saying, I do think last year we were pretty early in the pandemic, and that probably caused a development ripple where we only got like teasers or trailers, like this brief CGI trailers of some of the earlier games. Whoa, what is happening? I'm like, did you just move?
Just continue.
I'll get my own.
Yeah, I'm giving you your own space now.
Oh, cool.
Hello. Oh my gosh, if you do that to me, I will murder
you. So now I think we're gonna get less games, but we're gonna get longer footage of, like, let's say like Hellblade, for example. We'll get like a longer demo. Starfield might have its own section, so that means we'll probably get less games if it's in the same time frame as last year. But it can be a good thing. It means we'll get better looks at these games. I think that's what's going to happen this year. There's so many games we haven't seen updates on, and like State of Decay, and there's just a lot of games that's been silent since the last showcase. So I'm looking forward to what they do to this one.
I can already see that like after we count the number and like go back to this, Mav's gonna be like, well, technically we saw Age of Empires last year, so that's not a game.
What are you saying? I'm gonna
I think 26 is close.
Okay, so 3-bit's at a 26. Okay. All right, Fuzzy, did you go yet with your?
I was thinking it would be a little bit more than last year, so I'll go ahead with a round or somewhat rounded number of 35.
So Fuzzy's at 35 games shown.
Wow.
And
it
now
to
does this
52?
includes third party as well, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it includes
yeah.
everything.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the whole showcase.
So you said 35, right, Fuzz?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Jasper, the realist,
48.
48 games.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's like 50% more than last year almost.
I'm thinking they're just gonna.
52.
Yeah.
I'm thinking they're just gonna hit game after game. They're not gonna give us a single break. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm going.
They
with
did that last
40.
time, and that was awesome. I last showcase was definitely one of my favorite showcase ever.
All
Just the
time,
way
yeah.
they did it.
Yeah.
All time.
All time, lots of crazy presents.
So how many did you say, Lupa?
40.
40 games? What about Vitamin Boy?
I think there's an awful lot of indies coming that he's.
This
always gonna care
motherfucker
about.
says 42.
42.
42.
42. Okay. Pong Soul's at how many exactly? You said like around 20 something, I think, but
I think 27.
okay.
And a half.
One above me.
Does somebody just
One above you.
whoever's
27 and a half.
so whoever's closest, do we get like something?
Well, we better.
Closest without going
Otherwise,
over.
it's a complete waste of
Closest
time.
without going over.
We get
Swear to God, I get like 46.
we
or
get
something.
Mavs.
Today at the
Mavs
game is
defense.
right.
Somebody got to buy somebody else a game. All the ones that lose have got to buy the winner a game.
Well, pitch in like $5 a piece. I would buy a game.
Uh huh. Yeah.
I'll buy you Barbie.
That works.
That's seven. That's seven of
Just-
us. That's 5 times 5. That's $35. So it'd have to
There's
be.
8 of us.
It'd have to be. Well,
So-
yeah, but
Oh, that means
7
you get a
people would be
2-hour
pitching
trial
in.
if you buy a PlayStation game.
Oh
with it,
yeah,
though.
if you got the winner.
7 people would be pitching in.
If
so-
Lupa loses, she's got to play Starfield from beginning to end without stopping. No games.
Yeah.
No other
that's
games.
not fair.
Oh, I like this. I like this better. Okay, we got to pick a
I like that
genre
too.
that we hate. Right? We're all subscribers to Game Pass. So pick a genre that we hate. We know the game's gonna be in Game Pass, and that
Back
person has
says,
to
do
play
these
through the whole thing.
estimates include the coming to Game Pass montage?
If a game is shown at the showcase, it counts.
Yes. The
It
entire
counts.
showcase. Yes.
Yeah.
So you're even counting like the indie sizzle reel where they show like 20 indie games.
Yes.
and it's
That's
like,
what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, because that counted last
What
year.
about the indie
Yeah,
reel?
that counted last year, and there was like
Yeah,
30.
it did.
So
Yeah, that was part of last year. It was 30.
yeah, and there wasn't really like
yeah.
just like an indie game sizzle reel really last year. I don't think too much. They did have a lot of indie games there, like Replaced and stuff, but they gave them their own time. Like Somerville was showcased, Replaced was showcased. I think.
Loop
Um,
River.
Yeah.
That's coming on the 3rd of May, Mav.
Yeah.
You liked it along with me.
Man,
So we got that on the 3rd.
it's my birthday too. So
Mm.
yeah. Also, Halo Infinite Season 2 comes out on that day.
it's the day before May the 4th.
Yeah, the day May the 4th, we're gonna have all the Star Wars news happen, and then later that week, freaking Doctor Strange happens. Right, next week is gonna be badass. Let's go. We're gonna have a special stream also for Halo
It's
Infinite
gonna
Season
be
2,
tasty.
and I might do a giveaway or two on my birthday stream. So if anybody wants to tune in and try and get some free shit, go for it. But yeah. So we got everybody's
heard-
vote. So I don't think I don't have to vote, right? On this.
No, you got to put a number down.
Okay.
There
So
you
I heard
do.
3-bit's gonna be busy that day.
it's
And
really
we all
hard
gotta
because
chip in at $10 each to buy whoever wins the game.
I'm on a different mindset, I think, than
Vic said he wants a part of this.
Vic wants a part of this.
Oh, he wants.
You want to get in on the action, Vic? Okay.
Come on then, give me your number.
Give us the number,
I'm
Vic.
I'm still waiting on Mav's number. He ain't weaseling his
Oh.
way out of
Yeah,
this.
you're not
That's- you know
weaseling
what I'm
out
saying?
of this.
Shout out to Vic the Click with a $5 super chat. He's gonna pitch in $30 to the winner of this, right? So, I did make a bet
Oh,
with
you're
Colt
awesome, Vic.
with Colt Eastwood. I think on the Metacritic score of Crossfire X, and I was closest because I think I picked a 4. So I think he still owes me some Hostess donut sticks or whatever the hell they are.
What the hell's a Hostess donut stick?
They're like the
I
donut.
feel like
Yummies.
I feel like
Donut
you and
dick?
Kate owe me and Jasper something for that Spider-Man
thanks, Vic.
nonsense.
Oh,
Oh, for me, the Spider-Man thing.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like you guys owe us something.
Maybe we're all just even
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so while I'm thanks again for the $5 super chat, Vic, and while I'm waiting on you to pick your number, I'm gonna go ahead and take my round here. So I think they are actually going to go longer than an hour and a half this year, right? Even with all the other stuff that they have, even with all that stuff, and I think Pong, you make a really good point, and I think your point was so excellent that you probably persuaded 3-Bit to choose his because he chose almost the exact same thing as you, and he went directly after you. So
I thought that.
I think that he was a little bit influenced. Now I'm not gonna let that influence me, okay? Even though it was such a strong point.
We got to remember Mav's an insider, so he knows. He's smelling it.
No, I
you have any more smelling?
I think 30 more minutes will do them a world of good in this show, where they can also still have the same effect that Pong was talking about, be able to showcase some of those games better, but still having roughly the same amount of games that they had last year. But I think it's going to be roughly just a little bit more, because I think there's going to be more third-party presence here than there was last year. And
Fair enough.
I think that the first-party lineup, they have so much stuff that they need to show. There's going to be more of that as well. I think there's going to be less of the indie stuff and the other some of the smaller things we saw kind of mixed in. I think this is going to be a show where we're going to come away from this being like, holy hell, this next year or two is going to be absolutely insanity, right? I think we're gonna have most of like the games.
You already say that.
Games, yeah, you can. I think the games of service type stuff, like the Forza Horizon 5 and like the Sea of Thieves, all that stuff I think is going to be relegated to a day after show. So like last year's main focus, it was like game, right? And they're going to do that again, but it's going to be all bigger games, and it's going to be 35. 35 games in a 2-hour span, as opposed to 33 games in a 90-minute span.
Okay.
But I picked 35.
Did you?
Fuzzy, you did?
36 for the sake of it, Fuzz. 36. 36.
$1.
Vic, how many did Vic say? 39? Okay.
39.
Chris wants to get on the action. He said 40.
Same as me.
Now, I'm just basing this off of what you guys told me was the last year's showcase. If you guys are completely wrong, I get to redo my number.
Jason Hackett says 38. Okay, I'm keeping score here, guys, because I expect after the show, y'all to be in, because we're gonna do a co-stream. We did a co-stream last year. We're gonna do it again this year. I'm planning on going big. I don't know what day Summer Game Fest is yet. They haven't announced that yet. I think Keeley was kind of waiting for the ball to drop and 100% for them to all make these plans. But I think if it's all within the same week, you're gonna see a hell of a week on this channel, right? It's gonna be crazy. You're gonna be live a lot. You're gonna see a lot of people coming and going, and we're just going to be live like crazy. Yeah. I'm going to take the week off of work like I did last year, and it's going to be bananas. This year, hopefully we don't get attacked like we did last year, and it kind of screwed up a lot of our plans. I think that this year we're going to be able to do bigger things because of this. Also, the channel's a little bit larger than it was last year, so we're going to plan on having a lot of fun, right? So if the Summer Games Fest is around the same weekend, if it's also like maybe even this was the same week, you're going to see like a whole week of co-streams of pre-shows, prediction shows, post shows, and all this stuff. So we're gonna give it all to you. So if you're there, we're gonna go back after these numbers and look at them. I see lots of people chiming.
Still says 28.
What did Jason Hackett say? He said 38.
36 for Jigger.
Jigga J.
33 for Il Ray Tito.
Il Ray says 33. Okay. Everybody's in the 30s. Right. That's
Still Rain says 28.
Okay, Still Rain going low.
I
feel like Still Rain and Pong Soul have been having some conversations in the DMs about this already.
I think so. This seems so.
Oh no.
Timmy says.
Oh, at this point we're just mind melded.
Chris Jones agrees with me with 40. You got him, didn't you?
I could completely see it going Pong's direction. I could see it going Kate's direction. They could go like a 3-hour show and have 52 damn games there. I don't know, but I like somewhere in the middle. of that is where I'm trying to land. Fuzzy took my choice, so I can't go with that one. There's a lot
That's
of
a safe
38s.
guess then, babe.
Huh?
You're just pussyfooting around it. You're trying to be safe.
You think I'm being safe? You think what? You think I
You
want to
coulda
go out
went
there and say
first. You're the
52?
host.
I
Yeah,
try
you
and be
could've gone
polite. I'm
first.
letting you guys go last. I'm letting you
You'd
guys
have to go
last. I'm letting
37
myself go.
or 34 now because Jigga J's gone 36.
Well, I mean, at the rate at the rate the
Joe
chat's
Max hit
going, every
34.
number between 1 and 100 is going to be taken. Yeah, Victor
Victor
Alstein.
said 100.
Yeah,
Victor Allenstein's going big.
yeah, he's
100.
going big, going
Yeah.
home.
Go
Yeah.
big, go home.
No, there's a bigger one. He went 4 million.
Yeah,
Oh,
David
yeah,
Cohen
David
went
Cohen,
4
4
million. So 4 million.
I could see that. I could foresee that happening. You know,
If it hits the 100, that would
Victor's
be
gone
insane.
100. Jared's gone 34. Lord Ruffness with a 27.
I got
Yeah,
I got
Lord Ruffness. That's what I'm talking about.
Lord
Timmy's gone
Ruffness.
38.
So I'm gonna put the David Cohen guess at 4 million, just in case it's like 2.5 million. He'll still be closest. You know, David Cohen 4 mil.
Definitely
Are
looking
10 of
forward to
the
Forza
games you're predicting,
Motorsport.
Mav, are they X-Men games or are they just?
He's
Did you
I
get,
get that.
did you get the 27 a Lord?
Yeah.
Yes, I got that. Yeah.
Oh.
And Lord Ruffness says, "What do you mean by day one download Forza Motorsport? You think that there's going to be like a? I don't think it's Forza Motorsport's going to be a fall release. I think late summer, early fall. At the late summer, earliest like late August. You know,
And
early,
they already
fall,
announced that one was free
early
to play,
October,
right?
late September, something like that.
I don't think they've said anything about it.
They didn't they say a while ago when that trailer came out it was free to play? Or might
Forza Motorsport?
I don't think they said free to play, but they are looking at a
like
more
service something, right?
Yeah.
That's what we all
Oh,
kind of
okay.
speculated on, that they were going to
Yeah,
kind of be a
it'll be a
game
service thing.
that's going to be as a platform that's going to live within Game Pass. Well, I think you're going to be able to buy it separately like you could with Sea of Thieves, right?
Yeah.
But then it's going to live on for like a decade instead of just releasing Forza Motorsport 9, Forza Motorsport 10.
They may do something kind of like Halo and Flight Sim, where like Halo, you get the campaign where you got to pay for it or whatever.
Lord
and,
Ruffness
like,
is going for the gusto. He's saying
it-
Shadow Drop.
Shadow Drop
Straight
for
after the
Motorsport?
show.
Man, that would be fire.
Straight
dude.
after the show.
If they
I
let
feel
it-
like they'll do that too.
That would be insane.
But that's going to be Plague Tale
That would be
Requiem, as a lot of
insane.
people are saying.
I'm thinking that they probably do that more so with Redfall, but I would love if they did that with Forza
Yeah,
Motorsport.
no doubt. We'd never see
I don't
Fuzzy
think
again.
Red Bull's I don't think Red Bull's coming.
We won't
We-
see
we-
another.
we would be like
GT7 at all.
co-streaming the show, and Fuzzy would be here with us, and then he would just leave right
Yeah,
after.
he'd be gone.
You know.
He wouldn't even say bye.
He'd
No,
be
he wouldn't
like-
say bye. He'd just
Yeah.
disappear.
Icon just
And they would say, and download Forza, and even before they could get the rest of the word out, he'd be off.
I don't think Redfall's coming anywhere near then. I think it'll be October if it's at the earliest. It may
I
even
think we
be
might
next
see Age
year.
of Empires like download it next week or whatever.
Yeah, Age of Empires 4.
Age-
Yeah,
Yeah.
that could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's. I mean, hey, we're getting into some of this speculation stuff. What's some like outlandish predictions that you actually feel could potentially be true? I know everybody's got one.
I have one.
Okay.
I think that we will get a first look at GTA 6.
Oh, at the Xbox showcase this year?
Some kind of look at it, yeah. Like, I don't know if it's going to be like an image or just
Boy.
something.
That'd be another huge blow to Sony. Jesus.
Yeah. If that happened, because
God.
Sony's had the rights to all the other like the GTA
Yeah.
5s and stuff, but like that's a new game. Anything can
Yeah,
happen.
It is.
We've
That'd
seen
be
it.
crazy if Phil pulled that off.
Like 2K just went into Game Pass and stuff, so they've been making some more
Huh?
deals, lately, and they did
They
do this
had,
San Andreas into
um,
Game Pass as well, right? So
That's leaving, I think, next week.
yeah, good
Yeah.
riddance.
Well, I don't think anybody's going to miss that.
Didn't Xbox have Red Dead Redemption as well, or Red Dead Redemption 2?
Yeah, Red Dead Online actually is free to play on there. Or I think is it free to play or $5?
No.
I don't remember. It's
I think
$5.
it was free to
right?
play, and I thought they had the marketing right, so
Jason
showing GTA
Hackett.
6 would be huge.
Oh no, maybe that's
Yeah.
what Phil and Strauss were doing together last year when they were having meetings and I don't
When
know,
he
if an
leaked
interview
the
together.
Game Pass numbers.
Kate, I
Yeah.
mean, if
Yeah.
Kate was the first one to predict this whole Splinter Cell thing, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was.
Um,
But Jason
smelling
Hackett,
something.
that won't happen because there's already a date for Plague's Tale Requiem, and that's June 17. It's my
Yeah.
top pick for the year.
Which is the following week. So they could drop it early, though. I mean, they could say, hey, Game
I mean,
Pass
they
Ultimate
did that with
subscribers.
Forza. They dropped it 4 days early
Yeah.
if you pre-order it. So
Yeah.
they could
Who
do
knows?
something like that. Like
But
pre-order
it's
it
going
today and
straight
get
into
it play
Game
today.
Pass. So
Yeah.
Plague's Tale Requiem's going
I
straight
think
to
you'll
Game
see
Pass.
like
So
a
I don't think so.
Well,
Sega
I mean,
drop.
Forza was straight
with-
into Game Pass, but you could still get it 4 days early if you put money into it.
Yeah, if you put money into it. But like, Plague's Tale Requiem's a different kettle of fish in it than a racing game.
Oh, Vakisha is going out on a limb too, saying Activision Blizzard deal has been completed.
announced at the end of the show.
Ooh.
And then you have the trailer for Modern Warfare 2 hit directly after
Yes.
that.
Yeah, you want to talk about blowing the internet
Yeah.
up?
I like that one. I like these outlandish. This is all in fun. You know, like chances. You know, who knows? But we all have this one thing that we think could be a possibility. 3-Bit, you were saying
think it's-
something.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I think we'll see maybe some Sega drop, maybe Persona coming to Xbox, something like that. Because we know Sega has been getting pretty close to Microsoft, so I think that would be kind of cool.
Jez brought it up on the Xbox 2 today, 3-Bit, that he saw some information from a leaker. I don't remember where it was at, but this leaker had predicted other things and said that both Persona 3 and Persona 4 Golden are coming to console, and they're coming to Xbox. So if Atlas is finally going to show up, and let's say they come in and they say you can play Persona 3, Persona 4 console versions coming, and today Persona 5 Royale is dropping into Game Pass, brother, that would kill the internet. Oh my god, that'd be so
that would do it. They could drop a ton of bombs in this show. It's going to be really interesting.
My outrageous prediction is they bring back Banjo-Kazooie and like give it to Mojang or something.
Ooh,
Okay.
that'd be cool.
Hey, you never know.
like
That
that.
could be a possibility. They
I
are
mean, they
rumored
brought
to be working.
Banjo-Kazooie back for Smash Bros.
Yeah,
So.
they're rumored to be working on 2 like other Minecraft projects. Like one of them is like they're 2 spin-offs. One of who knows what, right? But maybe they could do that too. Who knows? Fuzzy, you were about to spit one out.
Oh, we kind of touched on it earlier. I would say, what do you call them? Killer Instinct, or basically I'm thinking it's going to be called something like Killer Combat or Mortal Instinct. I don't know.
Okay.
One of the two gets announced.
And fuck it, put Shaq Fu in there with it too.
Shaq Fu. Psycho, do you have anything you think outlandish, crazy that's gonna happen?
That's interesting.
Oh my god, Psycho, what's going on, man? You're
He's,
like a deep thought. Come on.
He is.
Taking vitamins. He's trying to see how
Yeah,
many he can
they're
take.
kicking
forward.
in. Something else, one of the two.
Yeah, it's something else.
Yeah,
It's something
exactly.
else I thought it would be.
Okay, well, use your extra vision that you now have and tell us what's going to happen. talk to the tech elves
While
and
you're
tell
in
us what's going to happen.
Greenland, seeing all those pretty colours, can we please have an idea of what you're thinking?
I think that we will have a acquisition announcement of dropping of Avalanche, Asobo, and what's the other
Certain
one?
Infinity.
Certain Infinity announced, because something tells me that, I mean, if they're closed companies, they could have already done this prior to the Activision Blizzard acquisition, so they could have dropped those in there, and probably I'm on board with shadow dropping Forza. Probably like everyone's like been kind of down on Microsoft right now because they had really not too much playing. What would be the one game that shut everyone up is Forza Motorsport shadow dropping the day of this showcase. Yeah, it would definitely erupt the internet, especially with all, I know Fuzzy would be excited, and
Oh yeah.
just what we believe, what we think, what the game's going to look like. Holy crap!
Or
They're
Halo
going to be like
Battle Royale beta test for a weekend.
beta test. When it's ready, I think it'll be closer when it's ready. So we'll probably see something maybe closer.
I
to
think
the
that
end
would that's what I'm saying. It would erupt the internet a shit ton. If you say, and you can beta test Halo BR this weekend, you know?
Yeah, I mean they have the Forge has been beta tested for 2 years now.
Yeah.
So, but that's going to be the full version. That's going to be in beta. That it's not going to be stripped down. So at least that's a positive thing.
Because didn't they do that last year? They put out they gave you beta dates for Halo, didn't they, last year at E3?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a couple of what 3 flights before the game released, right?
Yeah.
That led all the way
Yeah.
from like summer to release time for Halo Infinite. So the same thing could go for BR whenever that releases.
Yeah, so they could do definitely something, maybe BR. Oh, by the way, here you go. You know, sign up on Halo Waypoint, get into the action.
Huh.
So,
man, I like it. All these different ideas. Now I gotta go big or go home on this because I'm trying to will something into existence, right?
Well, I haven't gone yet.
You have okay.
Neither have I.
I thought y'all
You
did.
can go if you want to.
No, hey,
Okay.
screw you. I'll go last.
First up,
but you better not take my damn answer. I'm just saying that right
Okay,
now.
so first up, Victor Alistine bringing in the Scalebound. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How about a new Scalebound announcement? Absolutely, Victor Alistine. I agree with you. Let's go. I'm gonna say that Bethesda actually surprises everybody. On top of the Starfield, Todd Howard comes out and lets everybody know, because everybody knows how long of a time period we're going to have between Starfield and the Elder Scrolls 6, and then, of course, the next Fallout. And Todd confirms that little rumor that we heard last year that they created a separate studio to do remakes. And the first 2 remakes that are in production as we speak are Morrowind and Fallout 3. And I think that takes care of the time in between. Nothing shown per se, but just lets everybody know that they are in the works. And I think that would be gigantic. So I'm going on a limb on that.
Okay, right on. Well, fair enough. I think that's fair. It could happen. It could happen. Lupa. Crazy prediction.
I tell you what's going to break the internet is Fable being released this year.
Wow.
Well, you
That'd
said
be one hell of a
Speculator.
turnaround, let me tell you.
Exactly. And also, I think they'll give us a date of September for Hogwarts Legacy.
Ooh, I really want to play that game.
Did they give a date for Hogwarts? They did. I thought they said October, didn't they?
No,
Oh.
They haven't given an actual date. But I think it'll be around September, maybe, because that'll be. These games have got to come before Starfield, because everything will be wiped out for Starfield.
Oh yeah, Starfield's the top game I'm looking forward to, but I know
they're going to show some gameplay of Starfield, definitely.
Oh, they're definitely going to show gameplay for Redfall. I'm sure that'll definitely be there. Like if I had to choose one game that will definitely be there and show gameplay of, I feel like Redfall.
Sea of Thieves. Oh.
Yeah.
That Redfall will definitely be there. State of Decay, I'm not sure how long that's been in development for. Maybe they'll show gameplay of that. Hellblade, I feel like they're going to show gameplay of, so people could stop saying that it's a CGI thing of her just walking. I'm sure Ninja Theory wants to prove some people, like, look, the game actually looks this good. Here is some sword combat. I'm sure they're going to want to do something there. Yeah, just
I disagree with you on the Hellblade thing.
Yeah.
Really? You don't think Hellblade will be there?
But because they already
I think it will.
They just showed it at the Game Awards, and it's not going to be out till like at earliest into 2023. So they'll have plenty of other opportunities to show it before then. And I don't think there's any. I think people are pretty happy with what they saw right now. And there's so much other stuff. Like they were talking about this on Xbox too, and and Rand was talking about it on our show yesterday on PM and the PM. Like, and I agree. There's like they have so many different things to pick from, and if the thing is about all the devs are submitting something and things potentially not going to make the cut just because of time, then like if they already just showcased what that really impressive thing for Hellblade, and it's not coming out till like over a year away, like they have so many other things that they could show instead that need that attention, or potentially like a studio needs to get more is trying to recruit, so they unveil a different game, or all these other aspects, right? So
they do have a lot to choose from.
a ton.
Maybe there's so much
true.
that they extend the show.
That's what I was thinking, the 2-hour thing, but then you don't want to go into 3 hours, 4 hours, like that's just craziness.
No,
so
they're not going to.
You can give me a 6-hour show. I'll sit here all damn day.
I will too.
Of course, we all will.
Yeah, the casual
Gerald Max got a good one. Roundhouse comes out and announces Marvel's Fantastic Four game.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. Compulsion, I'm sure, is going to finally unveil their game, and Starfield, I'm sure they're going to have like a snippet, and then they'll have like if you want to see more about this game, go watch a separate stream. You don't think they'll do that? Because look, they have so many games to show.
Doesn't matter. This is Todd Howard. This is how he does things. It's
the real
big
gaming is in the house. Speaking
but would they do that?
chat.
Like, I feel like you would need more time for Starfield.
They'll have another showing
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Starfield, right? But this one is going to be big. He's going to be there. It's going to be 15 and 20 minutes long, and he's going to play. I mean, they're going to show gameplay. They're going to blow it up, man.
I say 5 minutes for Starfield, and then we're moving on.
Deal of gaming. Good to see you, brother.
Put a timer on Starfield. How long?
Yeah.
I think
I know it's going to be longer than other demos. I know for sure well, I don't know for sure, but I have a feeling they're going to have a separate stream just for Starfield, so they could go in depth with all the gameplay mechanics.
So I think they opened the show with Starfield, right? Get it out of the way because everybody's ready to see it. They just opened the show with Todd Howard standing there talking, and then you show that actual just full sequence gameplay, right? And then you cut it out, and then everything else is a surprise, right, for the show. And until we get like Redfall gameplay, and then they ended the show with something big that we didn't see coming, or some other kind of gameplay that we didn't anticipate to be there yet. But
J, he mentioned Splinter Cell. We didn't even talk about that
because I haven't gotten to take my turn yet.
Oh.
Damn it!
I knew where
Somebody
Matt
was gonna spoil it.
So did I.
All right.
Sorry.
Did you get to go, Lupa? I forgot. I'm sorry.
Actually,
Yeah,
Payback.
I said that Hogwarts Legacy
Yeah. That's right.
have a date this year, and Fable will be announced. And will be shown gameplay, and it's going to be awesome, and everybody's going to go mental, and it's going to go viral on Twitter.
Right. Yes, it could be cool. Yeah, it'd be awesome. Now I'm gonna again. This is wishful thinking. This is this is our outlandish predictions, right? This is like things that this is something I'm trying to will into existence, okay? So we know we've had the announcement of Ubisoft Plus coming to Xbox, right? So they said more information later this year. So for me, later this year is potentially going to be at the Xbox Summer Games Showcase. And that potentially could coincide with another thing. Because if you're going to have Ubisoft at the show to announce this whole Ubisoft Plus coming to Xbox, I think wishful thinking here is you get a good deal with Game Pass. Maybe it's a smaller add-on on top of that. If you go Ubisoft Plus full in on top of Game Pass Ultimate, maybe you pay $20 for all of it instead, right? And maybe with Game Pass Ultimate regular, maybe you get or just regular Game Pass even, you get Ubisoft older library mixed in, right? So I think for the newer Ubisoft games, you get that extra little tier on top. And to premiere this and to debut this announcement, you got to have something, right? You got to have something that's been established with Xbox history, going back to the OG. Something that we've all been clamoring for, and something that's also already been announced but has not even been teased with any kind of footage or anything yet. I think we're going to see a little tiny snippet of Splinter Cell to end the show with that Ubisoft Plus announcement and pricing and all the whole shebang. And they will say, coming to Ubisoft Plus day one on Xbox with Splinter Cell. And that's how they end the show. So that's going to be my big outlandish thing. So Is it feasible? It's a
No.
game that's already been
No.
announced. It's Ubisoft. Come on, guys. No. Yeah. The
Same as
downside.
all our predictions. No.
It's a long way away. It's a long way
Has
away.
Ubisoft
you know.
said if they're having a show? I don't remember.
No.
No.
It'd be worthless. The show last year sucked ass. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it really
no,
did.
Oh,
it would.
Ubisoft always does.
No, the only
so.
good part of
But
it was
I-
those splash screens on Rainbow Six Extraction. Those were fire. Other
Yeah.
than that, everything
I
else is
do
terrible.
agree with Mav in the fact that we are going to get notification that Ubisoft Access, may be called something like that, will be coming to Game Pass in some shape or form.
Yeah, we'll see.
They don't need to do showcases. They'll just be part of Xboxes because Xbox will acquire them by then.
Mhm. Right, Kate?
In 1 month, they're gonna buy Ubisoft.
Yeah.
And, hey, in 1
I-
month they
I
acquired
don't think-
Activision Blizzard with that deal. But yeah, I don't think they're getting Ubisoft. I don't think so.
No, I think it's just that they're going to collaboration.
But I think Ubisoft is going to get sold to somebody. And if Ubisoft does get sold to somebody, my question at that point is, does that affect the whole Ubisoft Plus deal coming to Xbox, right? If Sony buys them, then it for sure will.
Not once it's signed. No.
Please, not Tencent.
Well,
or
I mean,
Amazon.
how long are
User
those?
Oh my
How long are
God.
those contracts for?
I think Amazon's the leading.
I have a feeling
buyer.
Amazon's gonna buy them.
Oh,
I
if
think it's gonna be
Am-
one of those investment groups, and they're gonna break
I
it.
don't
They're
want
gonna break
Amazon
it
to
Just
buy them,
rumor
but
they've
I
been
just see
telling-
them being.
I
the
agree
ones.
with Pong. That's the fear. I don't want that to happen. I
I
don't
think
want that.
Take Two's the best bet out of that, but I don't know if Take Two wants them.
I doubt it.
Those investment groups are going to come in with a huge bid because they see
Yep.
the potential of break it apart and sell it piece by piece. And with
Yep.
20,000 employees, they're not going to keep it together. It's just
No.
it's bloated. That's all there is
Yep.
to it.
Yeah, they're gonna sell that shit off. and
They're going
make
to
some
sell it.
money.
They know they're going to make their money back so fast.
The
off
IPs that they
all
got,
that
Assassin's
talent.
Creed, Splinter Cell, the whole Clancy name.
Just the
you know?
talent alone, the studios.
Yeah.
Every studio, everybody needs support studios, and Ubisoft has got their. Ubisoft's one of the few ones that doesn't use support studios that very often, right?
Yeah,
because
well,
they
I
don't
saw-
have any.
It's going to cost a fortune to pay all those 2,000 employees.
20.
20,000.
20,000. I mean,
Yeah.
did I
Yeah.
say 2? I meant 20.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That was
20.
crazy
I
to
was
me.
The
thinking
size
at
of
the same
Activision
time.
Blizzard.
Somebody put the amount of employees on all these different publishers. The crazy thing is Activision Blizzard's only worth a fraction of what Ubisoft's only worth a fraction of what Activision Blizzard is,
About
but they have
4.5
twice as many
mil.
employees.
Because
It's
they're
absolutely
overhead.
insane. It's
Yep.
why like how does that happen exactly? Like they just didn't
And
have
they
the-
still hire like on top of all the employees they have, they still hire like independent
hire a bunch of 3-bit.
contractors.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
It's a bloated.
How do
It's
I
a
know?
bloated studio, man.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
wonder
bloated
how that
bloated
happens
studio.
too, because you have all of these employees, but it seems like most of the games are developed by the contractors. It seems like anyway. So it's like, what do the employees do? Like, you know, like are the employees' job to like send stuff out to the contractors almost and like oversee things? It's almost the way it seems.
Yeah, it's
these
like-
days.
Yeah, I don't know. You have the main people who are there. They know how the company is run. They work there for years, and then you have the independent contractors that can do more of the stuff like modeling some environments, animating things. That I don't know why they do it to that extent. Maybe it's cheap. I mean, it is cheaper to hire an independent contractor. You don't have to give them benefits or X, Y, and Z. You just hire them for the job. And then once the game is done, you could be like, okay, bye.
Yeah, but then how do you
Save
still
money.
have 20,000 employees, double Activision Blizzard? You know what I mean? That's like the crazy thing.
I don't know.
How many studios do they have
No idea.
totally? Like
40 something, I think
oh,
it is.
okay, well, that
I
makes
remember I was
sense.
looking at something.
40,
It's a
43,
lot.
something. Yeah.
It is a
Wow.
lot.
That's crazy.
I remember we talked about it in the DM. I listed a lot of them. There's
Yeah.
just
Yeah, with all that secret stuff you've been sharing. I'm just kidding. No, he didn't share anything. Victor Alstain hit us with a
oh gosh.
$5 super chat. Thank you, sir. He said, "Great show."
I did not
guys."
share. I have to make it clear. I did not share anything. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, 3-bit does not. I've tried to like get him to like give me something, even like a hint. But like he's really
So
good at
have I.
he's good at tricking us because we will think he gave something away, but instead he's actually bullshitting us the whole time for months, and we actually trusted this guy. You know,
Yeah.
he broke our heart last year because he teased us.
Oh, we
you know?
did.
Yeah, he
I'm
gave us
sorry.
this fake ass smile. You know,
Always. He has the best poker face.
he does. Yeah.
So as of May 2021, there was over 45 studios.
Holy crap!
It's crazy.
Jeez.
And
Yeah.
and
And all those
Xbox is
games in
creating a
development hell
monopoly.
right now.
Okay, so here's the thing: with whoever does, acquire a Ubisoft, that's a big undertaking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Huge.
and with
That's
the
why it's gonna get
disarray
separated.
that they've been having, you can't go in there blind and be like, we don't have to change things. You know what I mean?
No.
So I kind of agree with. That's maybe why they haven't been getting those attractive offers and looks at from some of the other big gaming publishers. Maybe that's why it is those other companies looking to sell them off.
Because think about it this way too. Let's say a well-known entity comes in and buys them, right? A Sony, okay, or Amazon. They take that on, right? And they already know that they have to trim because it's bloated and they've got to cut down. That's going to look awful when they start closing studios, right? Or they start laying people off. But in this day and age, it's going to be absolutely a nightmare when it comes to media coverage and all that kind of stuff. It's not going to be a good look. So
I think Tencent's probably the only one that would take that on and like run with how many studios they have, and that would be a bad thing. But
45 studios working on mobile games. Let's go. Let's go.
They were already kind of doing that.
Yeah,
Sam Fisher
kind
on
of.
mobile.
Yeah.
they got
Ghost
Rainbow Six
Recon on
Mobile
mobile.
coming out.
How do they not have more stuff with that many studios though? Like
Not efficient.
it's pretty crazy.
Well, they had to redo the Skull and Bones like 4 times. So
Yeah.
Yeah, did y'all see the prediction of from Take-Two saying that they're gonna have 40 games hit within the next 2 years?
Yep.
And it sounds crazy because like they're so slow on the releases for real. Like they don't have, as for the size of the publisher, they haven't had like as many games as you would think, right? Now
Yeah,
that
but it's big and small.
yeah,
Are
they
they
do have
counting
like
remakes or remasters?
they
yeah,
broke
they're
it
counting
down.
those. Yeah.
They broke it down. There's like a certain amount. There's not that many of those compared to the new games. In fact, most of it was like big new games. Some new IP, some existing. But I think you had like there's something like 20 something brand new games coming, big games coming out in the next 2 years. I think IGN kind of
we'll see. Yeah.
was like misunderstanding the GTA 6 aspect of that. Just because it's in their pipeline doesn't necessarily mean it's one of those games, right? But IGN said that even GTA 6 would be within the next 2 years.
I'm starting to think GTA 6 is farther along than we think.
You think it could be
I
like 2023 or 2024?
Yeah, 2024. I think we could see. I think they're further along. I think they've been working on it for a long time, and I think that they just have been very quiet about it because GTA 5 Online has just been printing money. They haven't had to say anything, but I think they're further along in development than we believe they are. So I think 2024 definitely could be the
That'd be great.
Maybe Take-Two hired Square's financial forecaster to forecast their release schedule.
Maybe.
That's something you won't hear
That'd be
is
great.
Take-Two being like, we're really disappointed in our sales of GTA.
Because it's all microtransaction sales
Right.
they make money off of.
So
It's crazy.
40 games though, that's pretty crazy. That's 20 a year over the next 2 years.
That'd be the old days.
What
Rockstar.
IP
I'd love
do
to
they
see
have?
it, but
I know they have GTA. They have
GTA.
do they have
GTA,
wrestling
Red
games?
Dead, NBA, WWE.
NBA.
They
I
have.
wish they'd bring a continuation of the Mafia series or something.
Yeah, they have the
They brought
NFL
Zynga.
arcade coming out. That's going to be
Yeah.
probably part of that. But that's where after all those, you kind of get a little bit more like. But okay, so then you also got the Max Payne
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
games, right?
Yeah. Love Max Payne.
Midnight Club, table tennis.
They want to bring back Midnight Club, but they were the ones in that bidding war for
Codemasters.
who beat them out? EA beat them out. For
Yeah,
the
EA
other game.
Codemasters. Yeah, that was.
So
Yeah,
they
for
were probably like
Codemasters,
hoping to
so-
get that so they could reboot Midnight Club.
Wasn't there a rumor they're making a new driving game like a couple months ago?
Yeah.
And it's pretty much gonna be Midnight Club. Like there was a lot of information there, and it just everything led to Midnight Club. So like it looks like Midnight Club's coming back. Which would make sense if they've been building like GTA 6. They could have kind of co-developed Midnight Club on the side, because a lot of times they use the engine from like GTA to make Midnight Club, or at least that's what they did with Midnight Club Los Angeles. So maybe it's easier to splinter that off and be like, okay, we're gonna make this racing game ahead of time off of this world that we're building, and with the cars and stuff, and just kind of focus on that design and sell that off, sell that game, and then the next year potentially have GTA 6, which would make me potentially think that if we did get a Midnight Club, maybe it's 2023. Need for Speed hitting this year, Midnight Club hitting next year. I could see that return of racing genre to the arcade racing genre to the forefront.
And we got to remember this was a financial call too. So right, and now they own Zynga Games, so Zynga is going to pump out a lot of mobile games too. So they're going to count that.
I forget how many.
I think they're making. Aren't they making this new Star Wars mobile game? I think so. Or is that someone else?
That was somebody else.
Yeah, Midnight Suns it counts as well. Midnight Suns is there.
Yep.
So yeah, they got a lot of stuff they're working on. But you take the size of 2K, then you quantify that. Okay, well, Activision Blizzard's about just as capable of doing that realistically, right? So if this Activision Blizzard deal actually goes through.
Oh, Zynga's the publisher of the Star Wars mobile game. That's what it is.
Yeah. Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
If this Activision Blizzard deal actually does go through, which right now there's no reason to think it won't, is that the kind of potential activity we could foresee from Activision in the future? And Blizzard, 40 potential games within a couple of years.
Look at Blizzard recently. Blizzard's announcing stuff left and right now. Right?
Yeah, Overwatch 2 is like becoming like the whole beta thing is just catapulted like to the top of the numbers on Twitch and stuff. Like
people trying to get code drops so they can play it.
I saw Diablo Immortal is going to be huge. So now that they're launching on PC, and everybody says the consoles are right behind it, so Immortal is going to hold everybody over until 4. That's going to be gigantic as a moneymaker.
It's supposed to be a WoW mobile game or some shit.
Yeah, they dropped one WoW mobile game, but the other one that Jez says sounds pretty cool is still coming out. That's going to be more of a classic style WoW game. So,
and then they have that new IP they announced last month or whatever.
Yep, that they just started working on. Yeah, that's just Blizzard alone. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And then you throw in Activision if they pull people off of COD finally and give COD a break. Yeah, we went through this when we first talked about this deal, right? You're potentially talking about adding 15, 20 games to the pipeline. Like it's insane.
Yeah,
it really is.
And then whatever else all those other studios get freed up to create in the future,
right?
Right. The High Moon, the Toys for Bobs, instead of being support studios.
And there is a rumor that Blizzard is set to announce bringing back a certain franchise too. Nobody said the name yet, but yeah, I believe it's StarCraft. I believe that's already. I believe they've already basically said, "Look, the deal's done. Let's get going. All this stuff that was on hold, let's start doing it. Let's start going. What do we got to lose?"
Well, was it Simu Liu, the actor for Shang-Chi, had like tweeted out, "Somebody bring back StarCraft" or something, and then Mike Ibarra, who's in charge of Blizzard now, he gave like a wink face back at him. Right?
Yeah. Do you know what that announcement's going to do worldwide? Yeah. My God.
Oh, and this day and age too, in the day and age of streaming, right?
Yes.
And stuff like this is StarCraft 2 came out before that era. You know what I mean? Like
it was big in the West, but the Asian audience would really love that.
It was huge for a long time in the West, but then it died off. But the East kept it up. Korea, it's like, man,
number one game.
They still got tournaments to this day. So, God, bro, that would be.
I just don't know if people in the West know about StarCraft as much now. Because it's been
people in your age bracket. Yeah.
All they have to say is we're bringing back StarCraft as an RTS, and we're also firing up production on StarCraft Ghost, and the West will know about it.
So, I want them to do a Warcraft RTS.
Mm-hmm. Old school style.
Yeah.
You mean that's what Warcraft 3 was?
It started as Warcraft started.
Right. No, I know. What I'm saying is I want them to bring that back, like a Warcraft 4.
Yeah.
Warcraft 3 Battle Chest remake.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
What else happened today? I mean,
Yesterday
yesterday there's so much. It's like crazy.
Somebody was it Tom The guy that plays Battlefield or whatever, Tom something.
Oh yeah,
Oh, Henderson.
Battlefield
Yeah, Tom
2042
Henderson.
might be coming to Game Pass.
That and
Yeah, they got
he
a Game
played,
Pass logo on the Xbox store. So
Yeah, and he played the X Defiant, and he says
Should have
it
did that
plays
way earlier.
like Call of Duty, and he doesn't know if that's good or bad.
He said it's a what?
X Defiant plays like Call of Duty, but he doesn't know if it's good or bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of always been like that.
Yeah.
Play.
I've tried that game last year or earlier this year, I guess. Whenever that
I
private,
think it was it November last year?
Yeah,
whenever
it
the
was
private
in the
thing
fall.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was horrible.
You're not allowed to say.
I don't care. It was bad. And if 10 cent buys Ubisoft, it doesn't matter anyways. We're never gonna see it on console.
What were you saying, Fuzzy?
No, I was saying it was like last fall. I got into the beta, but I got in for the one for the PC. I was hoping they would do it for
Yeah.
console because I don't feel
Everyone
like playing
did,
it on
I think.
PC. But I just when they had the cleaners doing healing as opposed to fire, I was like, nah, this ain't it.
Yeah, hopefully they drop some of the hero shooter stuff off out of it. It was a lot hero shooter, and I wanted more Call of Duty out of it.
I think they made a lot of changes based on some of the art that we've seen on the website and stuff. I think they listened to everybody's feedback that said, "Get this
No
crap
Tom
out of
Clancy."
Clancy," right?
Well, they dropped Tom Clancy's name, but they also today Tom Henderson said they added Watch Dogs and some
Yeah.
other shit to it. So
Right. So it seems like instead of just
Bring in
going,
the dogs.
I think they're just going to go like all this Ubisoft, like crossover
Ubisoft
brand.
universe shooter. Yeah.
Oh,
And drop
a
the
Smash Brothers shooter.
I just
Yeah,
hope they don't
why
have
not?
the Splinter Cell agents going like and shit like that again. I mean, come on, you know what I mean? Like, just don't. Come on, you know, there's a reason that the game sucks.
I mean, that was like arguing like Fortnite. You got Master Chief like dancing and shit. You know, it's like that's just kind
yeah,
of
but
what
that's
games
in
are now.
Fortnite, which is like a licensed character from another publisher, like, you know, giving a little like fun thing in your game. This is like their creation of like, we're gonna make this big all out like shooter that's gonna compete with Call of Duty, and they're bastardizing their own characters in a shooter. Like, you know, if Ubisoft made like a kart racer and put like a Splinter Cell agent, hey, fucking go for it. You know what I mean? You know, but like to play first person as a Splinter Cell agent and not even be able to shoot people and run around and not in stealth and all this shit, and then like you get a kill and like you see this little like fuck that, man. I don't want to see that shit. Like
See, that's the fun part about Overwatch is when you kill someone in Overwatch, then you spray on the wall and like teabag, and then you get it in the final kill cam.
Hey, by the way, Windows Central just put out a poll like 1 minute ago, right after we just got done talking about it. Which Activision Blizzard franchises would you like to see get new games from the most out of these? And the options were number 1, StarCraft, number 2, Crash Bandicoot, number 3, Spyro, and number 4, Prototype.
wow.
Ooh,
Who put that poll
Prototype.
out there?
Huh?
Who put the poll out there?
Windows Central Gaming.
Okay. Right on.
Jez and crew. Shout out to those boys over there. Funny that they just put that
Yes.
out there though. Right after, literally just a couple minutes ago.
I
They've been
wonder
watching
if
the show.
somebody's listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lurking in the chat.
But shout out to Jez and
Jez
Miles.
was
you know,
lurking.
Yeah. Shout out to Miles, who's headed to Seattle for some reason,
Yeah.
along with
Yeah.
Colt.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
just
Say
a
no
day,
more.
Yeah.
Post.
No, in my wildest dreams, I would imagine like Miles and Colt hanging out with like Phil Spencer and Aaron Greenberg and Sarah Bond in a living room,
Yeah.
and they have Xbox Ultimate on the TV, and like, hey, let's do this poll. It'd be fucking funny, wouldn't it? Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Fuck with those guys.
This is what Miles is like. I got you, man. Let me do this little poll right now. You know, this is great. No, that's not happening. But we can.
Phil Spencer adds the Xbox Ultimate to his shelf. He
Yeah.
puts it on.
Yeah, we're being acquired.
we are being acquired by Phil Spencer.
Mav, what's the offer? Like, what's the buyout price?
I don't know, like
what do you sell on Xbox Ultimate for?
$130.
Okay.
Cheaper than a Series S.
I'm not saying.
I'm just kidding. No, I don't know, man. Like, you know, I think, you know, Activision Blizzard went for $70 billion, so, you know, I think maybe like a 1/millionth of that, something around there.
So $7.
I was gonna say 1,000th of that, but you think, wow, you so cheap.
I'm bad at math. We'll go with $70,000.
But just by the way, Phil, I'm not included in that
700,000.
purchase. You'll have to negotiate with me separately on a different
Oh,
contract.
okay. Different contract.
Well, you know, it's a
Question
very
your benefits
valuable kit.
package.
You get the Encyclopedia of Gaming dating back to the very first game ever
That's like
created.
it's pretty much like buying CD Projekt Red. You don't get the IPs. You're like, oh,
Right,
you get
right.
pumped.
Exactly.
Well, this is how this game used to work. Let me tell you exactly how the mechanics work.
What's Xbox Ultimate worth without Pong? That's going to be the question at the table.
A little bit more.
A little bit more. Probably. He's a liability. That's right.
We gotta cut the bat out first before we sell.
I'm leaving now.
Oh man.
He's like
So,
Robotech.
You know,
we're throwing Robotech.
Jason Cryer finally blocked you on World Grizz. Yeah,
I think he's blocked everybody on this panel.
No, I don't think he's
No,
blocked
I'm
me.
not
No, he hasn't blocked me yet.
Oh,
He
I
hasn't
asked him a
blocked me.
question months ago about like GTA 6. It's like, how are you not writing in the like some sort of, you know, article or piece about, you know, Rockstar and how this game still isn't even remotely close to development or further along than what it should be, type of thing. It's like
They're not owned by Microsoft, so he doesn't focus
Yeah.
on them, you know.
Eventually, he's going to block so many people they can't even see his news articles that he puts out. So he won't be a journalist. He'll cancel himself.
Well, already you have to have a subscription
view.
to even view those articles, right? So like, I don't. Yeah, I've tried. I don't want to talk too much shit, but like, okay, so what happened yesterday with all that nonsense was ridiculous. And then we were talking about it on PM and the PM last night, and I assumed I was already blocked because I've talked shit to him before on Twitter. And then I went and I searched just to see like the thing, and I realized I wasn't blocked, so I had to make sure I was blocked. So I just tweeted at him and I said, "Jason, hi, Jason Schreier, why do you hate Xbox?" And you know, he didn't respond, unfortunately, but you know, it took him about 3 hours, and I did get blocked. And a lot of people had stories about being blocked as well in that feed. Right now, that tweet is at like 700 something likes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people that don't like this guy. You know, I wonder why.
I don't like.
It's
I
spot
muted him as soon as I saw him on there.
You've done
So
that
I
yourself, Anakin.
I muted him, but so he's never blocked me.
Yeah, I just wish like somebody close to me would be like, Jason, you're going down a path I cannot follow. You know.
No, I think he's entertaining in the sense of like you can tell his inner fanboyism is showing when he says something like, "Oh, you know, Wall Street's betting against it," and it's like, well, okay, well, apparently the whole board voted for. Well, that wasn't the
And then
thing.
he said- and
It's
then
still
he said
going to fail. The
clearly it's coming
FTC.
through.
It's like he doubles down on it. It's like,
does.
come on, dude, just
Regardless
Like
of
he said
like,
that.
regardless. Oh yeah, like, yesterday he like had a huge article about this, and later, and then Hogue Law saw it. Who's, you know, Hogue Law is a mergers and acquisitions lawyer, right? He's an attorney that deals with mergers and acquisitions. That's what he does for a living and has been doing for a living for a long time, right? And he goes and he like pretty much says what Jason Schreier, who has no credibility in even discussing this, what all he's just said is just complete bullshit. Now, what Hogue Law's not saying that 100% the deal is going to go through, but that's not the hurdle that they're facing. Basically, what Jason Schreier was saying was that the share price currently is a reflection on the lack of faith that the deal is going to go through, right? Which Hogue Law said that's not right at all because there's a lot of time left and all these different reasons, and he's like pretty much 100% put him in his place. Crazy thing was everybody who liked the tweet from Hogue Law of sharing that video got blocked by Jason Schreier.
Not me.
Not you.
me.
Well, most people that liked it. There was a lot of people that said
minutes
all I
later,
did,
be like, block.
There was a lot of people that said like
was
all I
blocked.
did was like it. All I did was
Yes,
like a
yes.
post, and they got blocked. He went and actually went and looked and see who liked the post and blocked them. This happened to me
That's how petty he is.
last week from that Z Huge guy also when he was tweeting about something. I don't even remember what it was now. But all I did was retweet something that somebody else posted, and he went and blocked me. It's like
how dare you?
It's like these guys out, these journalists have these egos, and they can't be put in check or have any kind of balance or kind of conversation put against what they're saying. And if that stuff exists online, they try and block it out of their lives so they don't see it. I don't understand that, right? Like a lot of it's not even like attacking or unfriendly or whatever, just the honest questions or like back and forth. People even just liking something or retweeting it. I don't care if you have a dumb opinion, right? But like if you go out there and like just try and like shut out any kind of conversation, that's just weird to me. You know? I don't know. It's like
he's not here for conversation though, man. That's the whole thing. He's here to promote himself and promote what he's writing and all that kind of stuff. He doesn't care about anybody talking to him. He doesn't.
No.
Right. So any kind of, it's like almost like this. There's an agenda that he has for self-promotion, and which we've seen before with the whole Eric Lynn incident last year, with that Reddit post and how he shared a Reddit post right before his book came out, and pretty much threw
books coming.
Pretty much threw that developer under the bus.
That's when I got banned. I forgot. Yeah.
When
I commented on that, and he banned me like immediately. So
I just wonder when the industry like takes a stance and like kind of like is like, hey, we don't want to deal with this guy anymore. You know what I mean?
They do. 343 or not 343. What's the studio that pretty much told him to fuck off?
I think even CD Projekt Red told him that.
It was somebody. They pretty much told him, dude, go fuck off, and they banned him from any communications, anything. So it's funny.
Was it Naughty Dog
like
potentially?
Him, but he has some credibility, but it's just how he carries himself is what I don't like.
I'd like to see how people react to him at live, like when he goes to like a show or something, and there's more like other journalists around, like how people treat him.
Oh, when you're face to face, people always play nicer anyway. So
but I'd like to see if he's gotten to the point where most people just kind of like
leave him in the corner.
Hey Jason, just walk away.
Hey guys,
that's it.
Come over here. I have some information for you about the mergers and acquisition of Activision Blizzard. I think it's going to go through. I think the share prices are clearly evident of the lack of faith in this deal being passed. You don't agree? I block you, motherfucker. You know, I mean, come on. You know, like
somebody's talking to him face to face, and he's like, "Hold on for a second." He pulls out his phone. He's like, "You're blocked."
Yeah. No, I literally think he can't. With the amount of people he's blocking, he didn't even have time to carry a real conversation in his life. It's like, you know, his wife. What do you want for dinner? Hold on, honey.
Talk to himself in his head.
He's got his wife blocked.
He's Xbox.
He's got his wife blocked already.
Because he did because he wanted something else for dinner, and his wife said, "But I don't have that in the fridge." Well, I'm gonna block you. That's not okay. You have to agree. I would block you on Twitter, block you on Facebook, block you on Instagram.
Now,
I wanted potatoes. I don't understand. I just don't understand.
He wanted to sit on potatoes. What?
Potato.
Goes to Starbucks. I wanted sweet cream in this block.
Yeah. My coffee's wrong. My coffee's wrong. Starbucks.
Yeah. I wanted 4 sugars, not 3.
Black.
I mean, when you think about what a journalist is, it's all about taking other people's opinions and forming it into your own. And he's just no. My post, if I'm trying to recollect what I said, it was to the extent where you are literally just trying to advertise your book at this point. And it has nothing to do with what is actually right, what is actually wrong. You're not trying to see other people's sides. And yeah, that's pretty much when I got blocked. But I knew the block was coming.
In that incident, he shared that whole stuff without even actually going to ask a question to the original creator of the video in the first place. And that one was crazy to me. Like, how can you claim to be a journalist? You're sharing something on a social media platform which you have hundreds of thousands of followers, right? And you're putting this out there that you know is going to create a huge stir, and you don't even do any fact checking.
Well, that's what journalism is in 2020 too.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even like go to the source and ask him his thoughts or nothing. He just shared somebody else's translation of it on Reddit right before he had his book dropping, right?
That's all it was.
And then people started attacking that developer. That was a whole.
Yeah. And he said it was
That
like
was the whole
ruining his
thing.
life. He had to come out with it in a video like the day after. He's like, man, this is like, I'm afraid like I'm getting blackballed from the industry now because my words are getting taken out of context. I wasn't trying to say anything like that. Like my word, like all this stuff. He never like, I think he said the next day or something like, I should have like maybe gone to him or something, but he didn't like really wasn't like very apologetic or anything. Guess what? All those people were still blocked, and that he continues to do this. Like, I don't know what his agenda is, but he has some kind of thing specifically against like big tech or something, probably, or against larger companies, organizations buying and acquiring things. Because remember, even when the Activision Blizzard thing was announced, the day after that, what does he do? The day right after it happened, he was like, "If I was blah blah blah, I'd be on the phone right now with blah blah." That was
antitrust people. Or whatever.
Yeah, that was his immediate response, his initial reaction. You know what I mean? Like, so there's clearly some kind of agenda, personal thing that he wants to get pushed across with his point of view. That's not what a journalist is supposed to do. Unfortunately, in this day and age, that's what journalists do. It's not
do.
Yeah, do. Yeah. That's pretty much what it is.
That's what they make. They do.
Yeah. Unfortunately that's what it is. It's become like all forms of media have become like so not objective. Like it's all looking at it through one narrow point of view, and whatever fits that mindset is what's going to get pushed, right? And he has this mindset that Xbox bad, and anything that they do, they try and paint a kind of negative light on it, or kind of put a damper on it, or whatever. And I just want like companies like that to stand up to people like this. Now, you don't have to take shit for the sake of being, open to criticism and stuff. You don't have to. You don't have to share stuff with that journalist. You can share stuff with other ones. You know what I mean? I remember Phil Spencer sharing his book on his shelf and stuff when he was doing the interview and stuff like that. I'm like, screw that guy. Like. I know you're trying to win kudos, maybe like get them in your favor.
It's a weird
I don't know.
thing. These like when you're in the position where you have to basically have clear messaging for thousands, millions of fans. It's such a weird hurdle to try and communicate. Like, when do you stand up for yourself in those situations, or do you just let it go? And most of the time they decide it's not worth it to let it go. But
one journalist isn't going to affect a Microsoft announcement. It's like, who the hell cares? So it's just like,
I know. I'm sure it sometimes does get to the teams, because I've seen it get to the teams, but for the most part, they just, some things aren't worth fighting about, especially because a lot of what you see on Twitter is such a niche part of the community at the same time. Like, we're a part of it. We see things. We're updated on news constantly. There are people who just like, I love Xbox. I love playing on Xbox, and they are not involved in the news at all. They may see this the Bethesda announcement, and go to that like it's E3, but that'll be their news for the most part. While we are very involved, we see these things. We see how corrupt some people can be, but for the most part, sometimes you just have to let it go, which can be hard sometimes. But
I see Pong smirking there with the good old smile on his face.
Oh, did you see my picture?
Did I see your picture?
Hey, you're muted, Pong.
You're muted.
You're still muted.
You're still muted.
Sorry. My tinfoil hat is on, and it's absolutely freaking amazing. So, look, Windows Central put out that poll, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Change the subject now, right? Let's go.
Jez shows up on Twitter and makes one of his ridiculous posts, like he always does. And he said, "What if praying mantises were horse-sized?" So yeah, the brain clicks. This tinfoil hat's working tonight. There was mantises in StarCraft, So that's one of the troops.
There's also Mantis coming to Grounded.
Yep.
Nice.
And it will be horse size because we're like half an inch tall.
So you think they're going to show StarCraft at this event?
That Steam game.
I think they're going to announce StarCraft before the showcase. So I think this is
Before.
going to be
That's
the next.
Blizzard.
That's Blizzard.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
StarCraft 3?
Oh,
But what? Do you think that'd
Yeah,
be on
the-
Xbox's stage though? They're still working.
No,
maybe.
no, I don't think it'll be on Xbox's stage. I think it's just going to be a Blizzard. Blizzard's on a roll right now. Next week we are going to hear about the World of Warcraft mobile game. That's next week. And then, like I said, this rumor started floating around that they had something else to show, and it was possibly, StarCraft. But this all makes sense now why Windows Central posted that. And then Jez, what if Praying Mantis were sized? So. Imagine we might get a StarCraft announcement here soon, folks.
Yeah. Well, again, that goes all the way back to that like Micah Barra tweet, and then them kind of alluding they have other big projects that are unannounced right now. So the question is like if it is, and I wouldn't pull it past them to potentially be on an Xbox stage because Diablo was there last year.
Mm-hmm.
So even like if the acquisition, even if it's like not through yet, they could still potentially market the game at the Xbox.
Well,
showcase.
they remastered the first StarCraft like 3 years ago, so maybe this is a StarCraft 2 remaster, and then,
yeah,
maybe. It could be a remaster, or they could just be saying, "Hey, we're rebooting the entire thing, right? Starting from scratch and rebuilding it as a brand new RTS."
Big Mad Mo, not Jez, Rand. Althor 19. He actually did think that we may potentially see Compulsion's game there. Not from any kind of insider information, but just because of like a lot of people thinking that game may be closer, right? Like maybe a 2023 thing. So if that's the case, potentially that one could be shown. That could be one of the new reveals.
2020. You think Indiana Jones is later?
I think they've been working on Indiana Jones for a while. I think that's what Machine Games has been working on. Everybody's thinking like they've been working on Wolfenstein. They've been working on Wolfenstein. No. They've been working on Wolfenstein. I'm thinking they've been working on this Indiana Jones game, and that also that's why Todd Howard revealed that, and he had that Indiana Jones thing way back when on his thing on his shelf, or whatever.
I don't know where people got the Wolfenstein thing from. Like I feel like. It's just once they wrapped Youngbloods, I felt like they were done with Wolfenstein. They just started focusing straight on Indiana Jones.
If you follow the clues of everything that the devs have said, they've said we will work on Wolfenstein again, right? But they haven't said that's what they're working on.
That tells me later.
I think people are just used to the cadence from Machine Games, and that was the anticipation, right? And okay, so the next thing is gonna be another Wolfenstein. That was just people wanted to see that like succession of like the 3 big Wolfenstein games, right? And I think when the Indiana Jones deal came through, that Machine Games was chosen to work on that. They decided that they're gonna be the ones that work on that, and it put Wolfenstein on the back burner. And
I think Wolfenstein needs to breathe a little anyway, because the last few haven't been as great.
So I think that Indiana Jones could have been in development for a few years, right? And potentially it could be like a 2024 game. It could be an end of 2023 game. Maybe it's the big game for the end of 2023. Who knows, right?
That's what I was thinking. Like last week or the week before, I was like maybe in the show with like Indiana Jones music coming on, and you see like gameplay of Indiana Jones is the final thing.
Well, also the devs themselves have said, in answering fan questions, yes, Wolfenstein will be a thing we go back to.
Yeah,
not like. Stay tuned for.
Do you think there's all hands on deck with Indiana Jones?
But so many are convinced though that it's Wolfenstein, and listening to how many people are so convinced, it makes you think that that's obviously the next game. But I don't think there's any actual information or anything to.
Yeah, they've always said we'll get back to it, and that always tells me that's the next project after whatever else get out. So
I think people just assume because they said they'll get back to it, and then it's been quite some time since the last Wolfenstein.
This was like comments from last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is like recent comments. This we're working on a project right now. Eventually, Wolfenstein will be something we go back to, and it's like it doesn't sound like they're working on Wolfenstein to me. I was surprised when Rand yesterday, Pong, said that he didn't think id was working on Quake.
Yeah, that was a little shocking to me actually.
Because I think
don't
a lot
get
of people are on the Quake train there. So I
So
would
what
wonder
is
what
maybe
would be
something
in that
working on?
if it wasn't working on
Another
Quake,
Doom?
what would that be?
Or
You know,
maybe
new
new
IP,
IP.
or maybe
Rage
Yeah,
3, but
I still think Quake.
I agree.
There's too much smoke. I still think Quake. So I think that.
But if
Quake-
it wasn't
Quake
Quake,
kinda
what would
has-
you say, Pong?
I honestly I don't know because that's why I was asking Rand. What has it been doing? Right? If they're not working on, what have they been doing? Because again, unless they do have an IP that we're not aware of, maybe they got another licensed IP that they're going to give to id to try out. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
True.
they might. So
I mean, they could share IPs with each other. I mean, it's Microsoft, so
Well, or maybe that whole Halo thing that we were joking around about before. You know, let id work on a Halo game. You know,
yeah,
like
Ooh, that would
who
blow the
knows?
internet. That'd be
Right?
kind of cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a Halo game or something in the Halo universe.
That would be sick, man. I'm just saying. I don't know if that's what's happening, but you know, like when that whole when the whole thing happened, my first reaction was not like, "Hey, we're gonna get
Copycat
more of this, more
Psycho.
of that." Was that?
Sorry.
Sorry.
No, you're right. My reaction was always like, what new things could be possible now? And one of the first things a lot of people went to is an id game that is like in a Halo verse, right? Like something with the flood, or you know, like it could be sick as hell, right? So maybe they saw that potential and they like, hey, do you guys want to work on Halo? And they were like, hell yeah, we want to work on Halo, and they just went for it. It's been how long now since they knew that they were getting acquired? Like 3 years, almost 2 years, 2 years,
3, 4 years, yeah.
3. Wow, it's really been that long since we.
When was the
it
announcement?
20?
The announcement made was in 2020.
No.
I think, right?
Was it?
Yeah, I was.
I don't
No,
even
we
know,
haven't
man.
been
Time
doing
flies.
this show
2019?
for. Okay,
Somebody
now I
help
gotta
us
look.
out, chat. When was the announcement made? Like, my time scale is all jacked.
ZeniMax
not
was
been- it's
announced
not
in
been 2 years.
2020
But-
and
okay,
it was
2020.
finalized in 2021
Oh,
Okay, so
because it was announced right before the launch of the consoles. Remember, it was right before the series
Right.
consoles launched.
2020. Wow,
could they have
so-
potentially let them start working on it before the deal was finalized? I don't know if that would be possible, unless they had some kind of side.
Have we been doing the show that long? What?
Dude, we're on episode
Hold on.
86.
Yeah.
ZeniMax was
This is
announced.
crazy. I know, I
ZeniMax was
didn't think about it.
announced before the consoles launched.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I said before the consoles
Did
launched.
it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that was leading up to the series consoles. Remember, because it was such a huge deal, and they announced it right before
2020
then.
and 2021 are just like the same
1
year to
year.
me. I just forget.
Yeah.
Right.
I know.
They're pretty
Oh,
much
so-
the same year.
2020 Part 2.
Pretty much.
2020 was a terrible year.
Yeah, I don't know what else it would be doing because I don't think they're not going to go back to Rage. No way.
Mad Max, but
Rage controlled so well.
It,
I wish
it
was
had
good.
it had its good moments, but
They've been remastering all the Quakes recently. They're like putting them on Xbox.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why
no,
we
I think
thought
Quake's
Quake.
I
real.
know
Yeah.
Wolfenstein's coming.
unless he just said that to throw you guys off the trail.
I
So-
mean, but Doom, I feel like Doom got kind of shit on for not having a good multiplayer mode. So maybe they're like gonna start refocusing on Doom. Maybe I don't know.
that's where Quake's
Like
going to come.
another
Quake's
Doom.
going to be their multiplayer.
They're working on Wolfenstein.
Yeah, that's
It-
That's
Quake's always
machine-
been
machine-
their multiplayer.
Well, I
think
mean,
Machine
maybe
Games.
it could work on Wolfenstein.
They
maybe.
could. I mean, they originally did it, so it's certainly possible.
You think that's what? Or is that what you're going with, Lupa?
Yeah,
Okay.
I know there's a new Wolfenstein coming.
Yeah.
I just feel like Machine Games did it so well that they wouldn't give that to anyone else right now. Like,
No,
It's kinda
Machine
Machine
Games
Games,
did
it's their
Young
baby.
Blood, and that was shit.
no, they did New Colossus and the
They
New
did
Order
all.
and
They
stuff.
did the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who made that one with the two women?
Machine Games.
All three. Yeah.
Yeah,
they- all
Machine
three
Game
were
made all the
Machine Games.
Wolfensteins. Yeah.
Yeah,
Big
that
Mo,
was-
Big Mo
no,
was
it
saying it
was
was Arcane that
made-
did that or something.
Arcane made them.
Oh, okay. Well,
Hmm.
Youngbloods was shit anyway. I didn't
No,
play that one.
Youngblood
I
wasn't.
think that was
wasn't
more
it?
of they needed like some sort of revenue type of stream because it's around the same time with 76. A lot of their games at that point, it looked like they were looking for some sort of like cash infusion type of thing. So they were trying a few things. So those games, I think, were bad for the reasons of what they were trying to get out of the player base type of thing.
Okay, so Wolfenstein Youngblood, which was the one that you don't like, right, Lupa? Was developed by Arcane Studios and Machine Games.
Yeah.
So Arcane was the one that developed that one. Machine Games developed the two before that.
The three.
Did they do 2 and 3?
3 of them. Was there 3 of them? 3 main ones?
Yeah, there was 2 $60 ones, and there was a $40 or $50 one. It was kind of like a smaller DLC type.
That wasn't
game.
That was Youngblood, right?
No, it was back in World War II. It was with zombies and stuff.
Oh, okay. So
I thought that was part of the DLC for 2, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that was
because there was like 3 stories of DLC or something.
Yeah, but there was a standalone. Let's just
okay.
Look it up.
Okay, so Wolfenstein games. Shit, there's like some. So I think people are just so used to the Wolfenstein games. That's why they're going with that. I don't think there's another Wolfenstein game that's been like even rumored actually from a actual source.
Yeah, there's New Order, which was when Machine Games first took over in 2014, and then there was Old Blood in 2015, which was like a DLC zombies kind of game. It was a standalone thing, and then there was New Colossus, which was their third one, and then Youngblood was the Arcane Machine Games one.
Right. So I don't know
the earlier one. The earlier one type back.
So the earlier one was Machine Games, Lupa.
Well, them then. Whoever's making it, there's definitely one coming. I know this.
How do you know this? What's your source? Tell me.
Dealer Gaming.
Yeah.
Is that good enough?
He's like, okay. Oh shoot.
I don't want to go against Dealer. I just
there was
think
a PlayStation Wolfenstein game that was VR only, but
you know, I just think with the Indiana Jones thing and like with the comments coming from the devs themselves, I have a hard time thinking that we're close to a Wolfenstein.
I mean, they could be doing both games. I don't see why they can't have. I don't know how big the team is, but I don't see why they couldn't just do Wolfenstein and also Indiana Jones.
No, I don't either.
They could do both. It doesn't have to be one or the other, huh?
Which one would be first then?
Wolfenstein.
Probably Wolfenstein, just because they have the assets and they've done it before.
If they've been working on it, they have been working on it longer, right? If they've been working on it.
Yeah, probably. And Indiana Jones is such, in my eyes, going to be such an ambitious game. I could just see that taking a little bit longer.
Yeah, you're right, Chris. Hey, Dealer, you're wrong, man. All right, there ain't no Wolfenstein. Screw this shit. No, it's Indiana Jones on the way. Wolfenstein's coming out. Maybe 2026 is next Wolfenstein. We'll see. It'll happen then. I don't know.
I think they just need to reboot that whole story because they kind of like wrapped that up pretty well, and then they had to start spinning off and making like his daughters like fight and stuff. So I feel like they need to kind of redo that story a little bit.
They need to go back.
Alternate timeline.
I mean, that was around the time where they wanted more money, and then the teams were kind of forced to do things like Fallout 76 and side DLC just to make some money.
Yeah, they're in better shape now. They don't have to do shit that they don't want to do, right? Like
they don't have to do that stuff.
So maybe that's why the Indiana Jones announcement kind of came when it did. Maybe they shifted course at that time.
Yeah, I guess because it was made way before the acquisition.
But the acquisition was already in the works, right? Like the acquisition has already been announced, I believe, hadn't it?
I don't know what the timeline was from when.
Yeah, we need a Indiana Jones timeline here.
Yeah, like what was the timeline between when they started talking to each other to acquisition to Indiana Jones?
If it's to be believed from what someone that's in the chat was hinting at, like many months ago, or many months prior to the announcement, the talks for Bethesda were a couple of years, but they got more serious within, I want to say, before the announcement, at least like 8 or 9 months prior to the official announcement was when the talks, I guess, went from, hey, yeah, it would be kind of cool if you work with us or were a part of us type of thing, to let's put a packet together and see what this looks like type of thing. So
okay, so
maybe like a year.
I'm gonna read this. This is from Games Radar. Okay. All right. It says, Indiana Jones game in the works. Bethesda. Here's everything we know. Right. So, The game was revealed back in January of 2021, which was after the announcement of the Activision. After the announcement of the Bethesda ZeniMax acquisition, right? So I think it was before it was finalized, but close to being finalized, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so January 2021, and it's been so quiet since you'd be forgiven for having forgot all about it. It's one to keep on the wish list, though, as it's being developed by Machine Games, the studio behind the rebooted Wolfenstein series. In collaboration with Lucasfilm Games, if Machine Games know how to do anything, it's outrageous adventures. Now, I also like to remind people, Machine Games was founded by the original founders of Starbreeze Studios, which also made the Chronicles of Riddick game. So, just throwing that out there, right? All we've had so far is an intriguing teaser trailer and an official announcement on StarWars.com that promises that we're set to see a wholly original standalone tale at the height of the career of the famed adventurer. That height of the career bit suggests you can cross angry teen Jones or grizzled old Jones off of your Indiana Jones game bingo cards. The silence could be tied to the fact that there's a new Indiana Jones movie in production, which won't be out until 2023. Maybe they would want to release the game around the same time.
That's what I was thinking. Get that money.
Whatever the reason for the radio darkness, we've gathered together everything we know about the Bethesda Indiana Jones game right now. There are a lot of things they'd expect to see. A passport, the hat, the whip. More intriguing are what appears to be a plane ticket to Rome and the date 1937. That date places the game's timeline between the events of Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones, and the Last Crusade. From the date and location, we can expect Italian fascist leader Benito Mussolini to merit at least... I'm going to skip a lot of shit. I don't want to give you guys a plot. Okay. All right, so... Indiana Jones game release date. A new Indiana Jones game with original story, blah, blah, blah. I already said that. It'll be sometime before we have more to reveal, but we're very excited to share today's news. Now, this was also back in April of...
21?
This year. Okay, so this says it'll be some time before we have more to reveal, but we're very excited to share today's news. So no release date was given for the game. They're still waiting for updates on Space RPG and Elder Scrolls 6. The Indiana Jones game joins a significant slate of upcoming titles. Okay, so yeah, we don't know yet. I'm curious. Okay, here we go. Machine Games is known for its reboot of the Wolfenstein series, so it has experience with characters who like punching fascists, and it's a safe bet that the Indiana Jones game will be first person, heavy on the action.
I'm just wondering if it will be first or third person.
I want to know, like, okay, so
I can see it both.
That's the biggest thing.
I can see it both.
I'm hoping.
I can see them doing both. Like, first, I could see like that punchy combat that you get in Wolfenstein.
But when you like whipping and swinging on branches, it's third.
No, I could still see that.
You don't want first person swinging with a whip. That's just going to be motion sickness for a lot of people.
That's not going to be good at all.
I just picture it like something like Titanfall, just the way you can like navigate around the environment and it's fine. I would like it to be in third
swinging
person,
like
honestly.
Spider-Man, but in a different costume.
Yeah.
I hope there's like puzzles, like you go into like some like underground area and you like have to solve like puzzles by pulling out some
so you don't get
object or something.
Beaten by the traps. Can't get beaten by the traps.
Step on the wrong rock and arrows.
Yeah, I want all the tropes that are in the Indiana Jones films, and it's interesting because
that crystal skull.
Yes, the crystal skull.
They said they were going to avoid the aliens and stuff in the new movie, so I think they're kind of stepping back from all that.
I mean, that's fine. But a lot of tropes came from Indiana Jones, right? So it's like Tomb Raider is pretty much Indiana Jones, and Uncharted is very much.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'd still love to see Indiana Jones as a games as a service type game where they keep adding new adventures to it, where you travel all over the world. I think that would be just awesome. Like on a regular basis, it'd be so cool.
That would be cool. You just go around the world or something.
Yep. All different treasures, all different. I just think it would work out so well. It'd be so sweet.
That would be sick.
So Machine Games wasn't the primary studio on the last Wolfenstein, which came out in 2019. So if they've been working on something since then, at least 2018 maybe. So that's what, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
Like this, And if they want it to come out, like the movie was delayed by a year, so they could be farther along than we think if they wanted to come out with the movie to just get all the Indiana Jones hype.
It's like I'm hyping for Avatar. Can't wait. But the movie was pushed back to 16th of December. So I'm hoping that Avatar 2 will push maybe beginning of December.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, Jasper. Like, I feel like they would want to tie it in with the movie.
They're not going to do like the movie story. It's not going to be like Indiana Jones the movie, the game, but it's.
I know, but you write that. You know how it works. You write the hype for a game. Like even when Spider-Man came out, they released a suit and it had a jump in players, people playing Spider-Man. Miles Morales, I think.
Shame it was on such a crap box. Sorry, I'm just.
You're watching PlayStation Ultimate.
Yeah.
All right.
Now you get down there.
Yeah, I was trying to find like this interview, but it's like can't find anything right now. So Mr. Xbot, they weren't aliens; they were interdimensional beings. It says.
Yeah, get it right.
All right, everybody. Hey, that was fun. I mean, there's lots of stuff that happened. We could keep going on for hours and hours, but I think a 3-hour show is probably long enough. So we'll cut it here. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in the chat. Shout out to everybody. You guys rock. Jesse, Big Mad Mo. Hey, somebody I haven't seen before. My left nut is itchy. Shout out to you. What's up, man? Let's see. Ray Wade. He says, yeah, it was September 21, 2020. Thanks for that. Bean. I like seeing new names that I've seen some of these names before, but I like seeing new names here that I don't see as often too. Appreciate you all for tuning in to Xbox Ultimate Podcast. We've just been chilling, having fun, and we're gonna get everybody out of here. So thank you so much. And my beautiful wife, usually she's like, hey, I gotta get out of here early, so she went ahead and stepped out. First in my heart, love wife, Caitlin. Check her out on TikTok. Caitlin X0615 on Twitter. Information is in the description below. And also, the extraordinary AssassinLupa. Thank you for being here as always. Where can everybody find you?
Very welcome. I love it. You can find me here at 9 p.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. UK time on Xbox Ultimate with Mav, Caitlin, and the Fan. Also, you can find me on Game Set Live with KY Bob and Powerman at the moment. That's on Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. UK time. And you can find me on Good Morning Xbox, where I'm keeping Noof Seat warm at 7 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. UK time with Axel Gaming, Cool Cat Terry, Eternal Shaddai, Cerebral Paul, and Scrub Nurse. And you can also find me always on Xbox Live at AssassinLupa on Twitter. And I'll catch you all gaming, guys. Have fun. It's been a blast, fam. Thank you very much.
Trying to take Pong's outro loop.
Yeah, I thought I'd bung a few in there,
Right on. Jasper Gaming also tries to take Pong's outro sometimes. Shout out to you again, Jasper. Where can everybody find you, sir?
Lore Jasper on Twitter and Lore Master Jasper on YouTube. Mondays FSP 6 p.m. with Fuzzy and Mav and 3-Bit. Wednesdays Fun Pop 7 p.m. Comic Books More, Psycho Me, 3-Bit maybe, who knows about him, and Xbox Ultimate Fridays. That's where you got me.
Nice. Mellow Fellow, Vitamin Boy, Psycho Knots. Love you, man. Where can everybody find you?
Oh yeah, you guys can find me everywhere on social media. At Psychonauts8. You can find me.
Where did this come from? My God,
that was like
it was in my ears. Like, wow, bro!
I'm telling you, he should be the world premiere guy. I put it out there on Twitter. I was like, if I was to vote for anybody to be the new world premiere guy, it'd be Psychonauts.
Exactly. That's why I was given the world premiere and Xbox exclusive earlier. No, you guys find me everywhere on social media. Wednesdays on Fun Pop and Fridays here. Chat, thanks for coming. Miss ya, lady, and 3-Bits here, so I think we got everybody. So yeah, miss ya, lady.
Let's see who else we got here. Oh, we got a 3-bit here. Is actually here. Speaking of Psycho, acknowledge your existence. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where can everybody find you, bro?
Everyone can find me on the Twitters at i3bit. I am on FSP on Mondays. I'm gonna get these days.
What's with the fancy accent? What is this?
I don't know. What do you mean?
He did this on,
Are you gonna go have some almonds?
What do you mean?
He came down from the ivory tower to be amongst us little people, and here he is with an accent. Okay,
he did this on Fun Pop the other day. He just did like a country accent. He's like, "I'm on the Bird app." And
I feel like I have to change my accent on an outro.
All right, hey, it's your thing. Let's go for it. Go for it.
Yeah.
That's
and you guys can find me on there. On Twitter, I am at i3bit. So I would appreciate if you guys follow me on the Bird app. Lovely audience you got here. You guys are all amazing, and I'll see you guys on the next show.
See you later, weirdo. All right. The always fuzzy Belvedere.
Man, thanks for having me. It was fun being on here with you guys. For anybody that wants to hear my ramblings on anything racing related, whether it be Forza, Gran Turismo, what have you, or any games in general, find me on Twitter at fuzzy_Belvedere, FSP on Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern time, on Breakfast with Boom 10 a.m. Eastern time. Again here on Xbox Ultimate 9 p.m. Eastern time, and the Shop Podcast on Saturdays at 10 p.m. Eastern time. I'm sorry, 9 p.m. Eastern time.
It's okay. It's hard to get when you add more shows. It starts to get confusing. Yeah, check out Fuzzy, guys. He's awesome. And speaking of Jigga J's comment here, the golden age. Where can everybody find you, Pong Soul?
Look, fam, it was a fantastic night. Fuzzy, I don't even have to say thanks for being here, because you're just part of the family now. So appreciate all of you being here. 3-bit, it was amazing to see you, brother. I gave you a hard time, but I always love seeing your face. You know that. So thanks for being here. Lady, I hope you're having a fantastic trip out there in the wilds. I'm jealous. It looks absolutely gorgeous out there. But look, I'm going to get serious here for a second, because today I was reminded a couple times, for everybody who's still listening here and maybe listening later, I was reminded a couple times today about something important that I think a lot of us forget. We're in this community, and we're all here celebrating a hobby and entertainment, and really just one of the best out there. And we all just have a great time, and that's what it's all about. But behind every tweet, behind every chat, no matter where you are, there's real people out there. And again, you got to be mindful of the energy that you are putting out, no matter where you are, right? And sometimes I understand a lot of people, it's jokes and it's all that kind of stuff, but you never know who you're going to affect. And you can really make a person's day, or you can really destroy a person's day by what you do. And I had a couple people remind me of that today. Shout out to Baldman Gamer, BMG, out there. He just has said some really kind words underneath my video that I put out this morning. And again, when I tell him that it made my day, it really did make my day. And then I had somebody reach out to me in the community, in the DMs, somebody I would never have an opportunity to probably meet in real life, but reach out to me in the DMs and really reminded me that there's people out there that are going through things that we will never understand or know, unless they talk about them. And they're not going to talk about them because this community is based on video games, and we don't get all of that. Like us here in this family, we've shared a lot of personal stuff because we're all really close friends. There's always other people out there that we never will know about. And let me tell you something that really hit home. And you got to remember, again, when we're here, when you're out in Twitter spaces or whatever the case may be, you might think your energy that you're putting out is just jokes, and you might be able to log off and forget about what anybody else says. There's a lot of people out there who can't forget about things, or maybe have other stuff going on in their life, and you say something that you think is just a joke, or you're just doing the console warring nonsense or whatever the case may be, but you might affect them even further. And again, just be mindful of that. I'm not telling you what to say, not what to do. I never do. I'm all free speech. But at the end of the day, just remember there's human beings behind all of this at the end of the day. And share the positive energy too, right? And you never know who you're going to touch that day that's going to make a difference in their lives. So just want to remind everybody of that, because again, I just had a couple of those moments today. Love you all. Nothing but respect for each and every one of you. Absolutely love this community. Love my extended families on all these shows, my brothers and sisters in this gaming realm. And guess what? You can find me Pong Soul on Xbox. You can find me Pong Soul on Twitter. And you already know, tomorrow morning, it's the living split screen. Steel and I are going to be ready to rock and roll. Again, like Mav said, we've had so much news this week just come out of nowhere. You know it's going to be a buckle up type of show. It is every weekend, but tomorrow is going to be extra special with me and Steel. So please be there, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time. And then obviously 3 p.m. UK time. Tomorrow night, like Fuzzy said, the Shop Podcast, PTK Blam's channel. I'll be there. Fuzzy's going to be there. PTK is going to be there. We're going to have an amazing show because, again, we have a great show on Saturday nights just to end that kind of weekend deal. Be there. 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Central Time. It's going to be fun. Next week, Xbox Factor Podcast, as always, Double Barrel Gaming, Mr. Boomstick, Mav when he's available. We got Archimedes. We got BJ. We got N64 Josh, and me when I am available. So please show up there. It's a great time to be all things green right now. Lots of positivity going around. Xbox Factor Podcast, 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Central Time, Tuesdays, Double Barrel Gaming. Thursdays, PM in the PM. Go check out last night's episode. It was huge, right? We had Rand. We had my brother from another Steel Rain on there. We had the 4-man show going. Tons of conversations. The 3 hours absolutely flew by last night. So go check that out. But next week, Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock Central Time. Who knows? We might get some more news this week as well. Mav has that funny itch in his nose still. So we might see what's going on. PM in the PM right here, Fun Speculations channel. Otherwise, I'll be back here next Friday, of course, for Xbox Ultimate. Listen, it's the golden age of gaming. Get out there and enjoy all of it. Please enjoy all of it and play something. Play what you love. Love what you play. And I'm going to talk to you all real soon. Don't let anybody steal your energy. Don't let anybody bring you down. Just love you all. Have a good night.
That was an amazing outro.
I don't know how I can top the man with 1,000 catchphrases, but let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
No. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. You all rock. Love you all. You're amazing. This chat has been on fire today, just like they were last night, just like they were last week. I think last week's episode of Xbox Ultimate was one of our most watched episodes in like a year.
Was it last week?
Yeah, like episode 85. We had it was a big turnout for that. We had a big turnout yesterday. I mean, nothing to compare to some of those really big channels out there, but it's big for us, and we appreciate all the support, all the likes, anybody sharing the content,
and real people in the chat too,
taking part of the real conversations taking place in the chat and all of this stuff. Absolutely love it, guys. So thank everybody for being a part of what we're doing here at Fun Speculation. Right. So to find out when I'm going to be somewhere, when we're going to be live on this channel, all of our summer show stuff that we're going to be doing, follow on Twitter at Fun Speculation. Hit the notification bell here on YouTube as well. If it's working, it'll let you know when we're going live. That's always good when it works. And also, make sure to tune in to our regular cast of shows that we got. We got Mondays is now FSP, Fun Speculation Podcast at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We have Fun Pop on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Halo TV show, comic book stuff, all this kind of stuff, gaming stuff. And we're going to have a redo almost of last week's show this coming week because I put a task forward to I challenged our panel, right? Because I feel like last week we were being too much of a realist here, trying to come up with what's not possible. And
we were just shooting down 10 fucking X-Men movies.
Now, what I want to say is,
Mav was holding down the X-Men fort for me. That's what he was doing.
Did you hear it, Pong?
Yeah, no.
Like, I'm just
Yes,
saying...
I heard you. I heard parts of your X-Men stuff, yes.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you.
And I'm appreciative of it.
Yes. Love you, man. All right, so what we're doing this week, this is going to be insane, okay? I don't even know if this is, like, actually going to happen, like, because it's a lot of work, but, you know, we got to go big sometimes. We got to go big sometimes. So I have sent a message to our panel for Fun Pop, and I have put the challenge out for them to actually come up with 40 movies. The next 40
start ripping comic book titles.
The next 40 movies they are going to send. They're going to have them ready for the show on like a notepad or some shit, right? And when we go live on Fun Pop next Wednesday, we're going to compare the next decade from each one of our panelists and let the chat decide who dictates the next 10 years of the MCU. Okay? So we'll have a challenge. Fun. Jasper, if you're going to be there 3-bit, you got to make up 40 movies. Okay? You can go 5 phases of 8 movies. You can do like, you know, however you want to do it.
You have to do it in order?
Yes.
I'm just going to... What I'm doing is I'm just going to make 1 through 40, and I'm just going to start fucking putting down, like, characters I like. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I'm going to have mine in a timeline. That's going to make sense. And it's going to follow through with 40 movies. Okay? Because that's what we were to expect of 10 years out of the MCU.
I'll put some timeline shit into it, I guess.
All right. So we'll see. You can half-ass it. It's all right. I'm not going to half-ass this. I'm going to win. Okay? I'm going to win this challenge.
No, movie number 1, X-Men. Movie number 2, X-Men.
X-Men Part 2. All the way up to X-Men 40.
No, you guys don't understand. All right, Vic the Click, $2 super chat says no more mutants. Thanks, I guess. I'm just kidding. Thanks, Vic. I appreciate it, man. Thanks, I appreciate the $2 super chat, dude. It's gonna be mutants, man. We need those damn mutants, bro. All right. So tune into Fun Pop on Wednesday. It's gonna be a blast. And again, PM in the PM is always gonna be a blast. Next Friday, Xbox Ultimate, we're gonna have an awesome guest too. I'll reveal that later in the week. And so excited about that. But hey, tomorrow, I got something going on tomorrow on a Saturday now. Check out Go Live from Game On Daily. They're gonna have me on there tomorrow, so I'll be. I think it'll be my 3rd or 4th time on that show. Get to hang out with Gaz and Asa. Obi is gonna make his first appearance on that show as well, so I'm looking forward to that. It'll be a blast. And then Sunday, I want to give a shout out to Season Gaming. They're celebrating their 200th episode of Bitcast, I believe, on Sunday. So tune in to that. You may see some people hop in and out. You know, I'm not sure exactly what's going to 100% go down. So check out Season Gaming on Sunday for that show as well. And hope you all have an awesome day. Xbox Factor also. I always forget to mention this, Pong, because sometimes I can't be there. But Xbox Factor on Tuesdays, like Pong said. Double Barrel Gaming. He just hit 3 million views for a podcast-centric channel. I mean, this is not a video-centric channel. That's big, right? People understand, you know, you put a lot of videos out there and stuff, they have a lot bigger chance of getting massive views. But, you know, for podcast primary channel, you know, that's really hard to do, right? So
shout out to Boom.
Shout out to Boom and his amazing viewers over there at Double Barrel Gaming for hitting that milestone. But yeah, chat, you guys rock. Love you all. Have a good one. And I hope to see you again for everything we do. Appreciate it. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Later.
Catch you all gaming, guys.
Catch you on the flip side, yo.